Fremont line up with their subs.
Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sodbusters.
So proud of the guys, just kept clawing, kept fighting back, and I'm beyond proud of them.
He sends a high fly ball to deep right center field. No one's going to catch that. It is going way back, and that is out of here for a home run. Luke Causy, a monster shot, clears the 405 sign. Our first home run at Duncan Field since 2023. Touch 'em all, Luke Causy.
Our fans recognize that, and they know that it's a family atmosphere at our place, and that's what we like.
One run will score. Here comes a second run home. Johnston digging for third. He slides in, and the Sodbusters have a 3-0 lead as Weston Johnston scorches one over the head of Jake Daly.
All the credit to the guys in the dugout playing really, really hard, keeping it simple, throwing strikes on the mound, going right at kids, and then just keep it simple up at the plate. And all the credit to the guys for just busting their butts night in, night out.
Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sodbusters.
The Hastings Sodbusters got back in the win column yesterday. An impressive victory over the Bison, 14-3. Now they try to make it 2 in a row as the Fremont Moo come into town for a Saturday-Sunday series. Both of these teams in the mix, battling for the second half championship, although the Moo, their chances took a big hit as they lost 3 at Oahe. So the updated standings in the second half have Oahe on top at 13-5, Spearfish 10-5, Hastings 9-5, Casper 11-7, and Fremont 10-9. One of the big news items after we left the air yesterday was the big rally for Spearfish. They came from behind to beat Casper. That is good news for the Hastings Sodbusters, as with the Sodbuster win and the Casper loss, Hastings jumps Casper into third place for the time being. But it's going to come down to this final week, and every game means something. Sodbusters will be turning to Josh Nolte, a relative newcomer on the mound, as Hastings looks to beat the Fremont Moo, a team they have controlled this year. 4 wins in 5 games, but in the history of this series, the Moo have dominated, 58-33 all time, although it's been much more competitive here, with the Moo winning 26 and losing 22 in Hastings. Pitching has been the theme when these two teams have squared off. Hastings, a combined ERA of 3.02. Fremont's pitched it pretty well, a team ERA of 3.58 in the 5 matchups. And the Sodbusters already have a pair of walk-off wins over the Moo. Whether you win big or win small, just win. That is the key today. I'm Steve Stein. This is Sodbuster Baseball as we come to you from Duncan Field. Storms in the forecast, but we hope to get baseball completed before those arrive. Connor Christensen is our producer. Ryan Valenta alongside. He has our next Sodbuster Spotlight. We will hear Ryan's interview with Elijah Thomas when we come back. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Welcome back to our latest episode of the Sodbusters Spotlights, where we get a chance to talk with one of the relievers. This is Elijah Thomas on the squad, and he's a long way from home. First off, Elijah, thanks for joining us, and I think I calculated it, and you probably have the longest journey out of any Sodbuster here. Rodeo, California, if I remember right, about 1,500 miles, so you're a long way from home. Tell us about how you landed up here in central Nebraska this summer.
I don't know, my coach asked me if I wanted to go play summer ball out of state, and I told him I'd think about it, and I thought about it, and I wanted to do it, so he just put me on to Coach Scott, and then he got me out here.
Was the plan always to play summer ball? You sound maybe that wasn't the plan for the summer.
Nah, I wasn't going to play summer ball.
If you weren't going to play summer ball, what were you going to be doing this summer?
Probably at home laying down, fishing, something.
So you're here in central Nebraska now, and you've seen some time on the mound. Tell us about your overall summer experience. What's it been like, and what have you been improving on this summer?
It's been good out here. It's a little hot. It be hot sometimes, but other than that, it's good. And I don't know, out here I'm just trying to build my confidence up, throw more strikes, and just less walks, and just work on that.
And tell us about hometown, Rodeo, California. How does it compare here to Hastings, and how does it maybe differ a little bit?
It's a small little town, so it's like the same, like, with population-wise, but I don't know. I just got friends out there and stuff, so I feel like that's the only difference. Is like I can socialize with people out there, and out here it's like really nobody.
All right, tell us about your spring college, Contra Costa College, team that you threw for last year. Is that a place that you're planning on going back the next spring? And just tell us about your overall spring.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably end up going back there, but if I don't know. I'll just probably take this season off and just train and get bigger.
All right, so specifically training-wise, you probably could put on a little bit more muscle. Is that the main goal, or what's that main goal?
Yeah, put on more muscle.
Okay, talk about where you're staying, if you're staying with a host family this summer, and what's it been like spending the summer in central Nebraska?
Yeah, I stay with a host family. They're named Dell and Kathy, and it's been good. They treat me well. They make breakfast for me every day. They wash my clothes when I need them to be washed and stuff, just treating me well.
All right, so for host families, I know some of them, they make special meals. Is there any special Midwest cuisine that you maybe hadn't had before since you're from California?
That Runza thing.
What's your opinion on Runza?
It was good. I just eat the bread. I'll pick everything off. I don't know about cabbage and meat together.
Well, if I can recommend, if you have another chance, the originals are okay. If you can load them up in the future, that might be something to do. Let's talk about, you guys are obviously very busy at summer. You mentioned fishing. So have you always been an avid fisher, and how much of a fisher are you? How serious is that?
I started fishing around COVID, and I wouldn't say I'm not a beginner, but I'm not no pro or nothing like that. But I just do it when I have free time or when I just need to clear my mind.
So you do that a lot of this summer. Is there any other fishers on the team that you've gone out with this summer?
I just go by myself.
As far as baseball, are you fans of any college or MLB teams or players at all?
My favorite college team is the Oregon Ducks. So yeah, but baseball, I'm a Giants fan.
Okay. Any players that you maybe pitchers in the MLB that you've taken after? I know you're a lefty, so maybe a Madison Bumgarner or a Clayton Kershaw, because Bumgarner was a Giant. Do you have a favorite MLB lefty pitcher of all time?
Probably Aroldis Chapman. I don't know if I said his name right. Yeah, I like how he pitches.
Because he pitches fast, too. Well, you've got some decent velocity. Let's talk about your pitch arsenal, too. We've seen you pitch on the mounds, and what kind of pitches do you throw, and are you working on maybe implementing any new pitches this summer?
Yeah, I throw fast. I throw 4-seam, 2-seam, a slurve, and a circle changeup. I don't know. I've been trying to start throwing a splitter maybe or a cutter, something like that, but it don't be looking too good, so I just don't throw it yet. But yeah.
Well, summer's the time to work on it. And in the future, too, as you've always been a reliever, have you started? When do you feel most comfortable pitching in the game?
I always been a reliever starter, but in all honesty, I probably feel I do the best when I'm closing or relieving. Just a mental thing, I don't know.
What's it been like just getting to know some of these guys here? You guys started on a really hot win streak. You've seen the downs of the season, too. Talk about still playing some meaningful baseball at the end of the season. How's it been to know that you guys still have something to play for?
It feels good, just coming out here every day, just working, being around people, being around good influences, and just working on your craft, trying to get better. And if it doesn't go good out here, hopefully the season goes good.
He's Elijah Thomas, one of the lefty relievers for the Hastings Sodbusters. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Welcome back to Duncan Field as we get set to go for the matchup between the Hastings Sodbusters and the Fremont Moo. It is a questionable weather night. Right now we are dry, pretty warm, but under a severe thunderstorm watch at this time, and thunderstorms could be arriving by about 9 o'clock. We'll see how it goes as we are ready for a two-game series, the lid lifter against the Fremont Moo. Hastings, during this current homestand, so far off to a decent start, 4-1. Had the slip up against the matchup with the Bison a couple of days ago, dropping that contest 8-4. They began with a sweep of the Nebraska Prospects 9-3 and 13-5. Beat the Bison 6-5 and 10, then lost to the Bison before getting revenge yesterday, 14-3, a run rule victory. And that makes this matchup with Fremont a big one. Fremont coming off a sweep at the hands of Oahe, as they had a tough trip to Pierre, losing 6-2, 4-2, and yesterday pounded pretty good 10-3, being out hit 12-7. And so they try to keep their dimming playoff hopes alive. The good news is they do play 4 straight against teams in front of them. The 2 games here, and then they'll go home and try to get revenge against Oahe. But their season rapidly coming to a close. They have a split doubleheader Monday with the Prospects and Oahe, then Oahe for a single game Tuesday, the Prospects 2 more next Saturday and Sunday, so they don't have as many games to play to try to make up ground as they come in at 10-9 today. Compared to the Sodbusters, which are 9-5, and they have a bunch of games left. The 2 against Fremont, and then 4 more against Nebraska before closing out at Oahe with 2. I'm Steve Stein. You heard Ryan Valenta with a good interview with Elijah Thomas. He joins us alongside, and fun to play meaningful baseball here in the final 2 weeks of the season.
Absolutely, and it was down to the wire last season for the Sodbusters, and I think it was probably at this point back in 2023 we were saying, all right, well, let's just hope the guys can get some wins here in the final few weeks of the season, because they were definitely out of playoff contention by this day. But the Sodbusters are playing meaningful baseball. Every game counts, and especially, like you mentioned, Steve, they've been very successful against Fremont, a team that has had their number for pretty much the whole existence in the team. But it's been weird, second half for Fremont. There's only one instance looking at their schedule where they have not won or lost more than 2 games in a row. So they've been very streaky. They ended the first half on a kind of a subpar note, so just below 500, and then to start it off in the second half, they won a pair of games, lost a pair of games, won a couple more pairs of games, then lost 3, then they won 5 in a row, and then that was before the Oahe Zaps swept them in the road series earlier this week. So it has been just weird for Fremont. They have been streaky, but have not always been a good streaky. And those that 5-game win streak were all 5 games against the Bison and the Prospects, who have been struggling this season. But it's just nice to know that, the Fremont Moo are human. That they're not just going to be the thorn in the Sodbusters' side forever. It's always fun to have a rivalry, too, because at 10 minutes before first pitch, some fans are still wandering in, but there's still plenty of purple already in the stands right now over on the first base side. Fremont not too far of a drive away here from Hastings, and lots of guys are from either the Fremont area, maybe the Omaha area, somewhere else in Nebraska, and of course they have their guys from out of state as well. But always a good fun to close out the season on a rivalry. The Sodbusters will have a few more games with the not Fremont Moo up of the week, but get to see them one last time, and hopefully it'll be good weather tonight and tomorrow for 2 excellent games in this rivalry series.
Hastings coming in at 25-17. They are 9-5 in second half standings in the Independence League Baseball. 18-7 here at Duncan Field. Fremont enters the contest with a record of 20-22. They're 10-9 in the second half, and if you missed earlier, updated second half standings. Oahe with their sweep of Fremont going to 13-5. Crazy after the Zap were 6 games below 500 at the end of the first half. Spearfish with their big rally in 12 innings, 15-14 yesterday at Casper. They go to 10-5. They won the first half championship, so they will be in the championship series and have the home field advantage for the championship series at the end of the year. Hastings at 9-5, Casper 11-7, Fremont 10-9. If Spearfish wins the second half, you'll have the team with the second best overall record that would qualify. So right now, Hastings third in the second half standings, and as far as the overall win percentage, they're right behind Casper. So a lot of drama here in the final week. Really, guys can't worry about that. Just got to come out and win some baseball games, and it begins today against the Fremont Moo. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for Hastings, as they go with the black jerseys today, and they are 7-4 with this uniform combo with the blacks. Drew Vega leads off and plays second base. He has been red hot and is at the top of the lineup for Hastings. Chase Miller bats second. He is the shortstop for Hastings. Luke Causy bats third and plays right field. Brady Alexander makes his debut in left field. He is going to be our Sodbuster spotlight at a later time, but we did talk to him today, and I don't know if he was terribly excited about playing left field, although right now it's overcast, so if you're going to play left field, it's about as good as it gets here at Duncan Field to not have to look into that sun going down in the west. It'll be Cale Jensen DHing today and batting fifth. Tyler Welch at first base, batting sixth. Jude Greavves behind the plate and batting seventh. Joey Hecker starts at third base. He's batting eighth. And batting ninth and playing center field, it's Jet Hannaford. Josh Nolte gets the start on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters. Once again for Hastings, it's Vega, Miller, Causy, Alexander, Jensen, Welch, Greavves, Hecker, Hannaford, with Nolte on the mound. Sodbusters today under the direction of Scott Galusha, the acting head coach for Josh Prenner, who's off at a wedding this weekend. Corey Caranda is the assistant coach for the Hastings Sodbusters. The Fremont Moo go with Carter Sintek, Division I prospect at the shortstop position. Rocco Geritano is in center field and bats second. Cooper Fucino bats third. He is at first base. Henry Heyman in left field bats fourth. It's Timon Long doing the catching and batting fifth. Batting sixth and playing right field is Nate Wachter. Joshua Hardiman, the designated hitter, bats seventh. Grant Ryan at third base, batting eighth. And Rob Hodges at second base, batting ninth. Tyler Wise will make the start for the Fremont Moo. Once again for the Moo, Sintek, Geritano, Fucino, Heyman, Long, Wachter, Hardiman, Ryan, Hodges, with Wise on the hill. Fremont under the direction of Connor McGonigal in his third year. Graduate of the University of Sioux Falls and Omaha Burke High School. Jason Clark, an assistant coach, along with Tyler Dunham. Dunham still got some college eligibility left, and he's actually played a few games this year for the Fremont Moo. Fremont, 58-33 all-time against the Hastings Sodbusters, including 26-22 here in Hastings. As far as this year, by the numbers, Hastings 4-1. Neither team has hit well against the other, as Hastings 223 batting average against the Moo, a team ERA of 3.02, averaging 6.4 runs per ball game. Fremont against Hastings, a batting average of just 202. Their team ERA at 3.58. They're averaging 4.6 runs per game. As the season series so far, beginning back on June 2nd, when the Sodbusters rallied for 3 in the bottom of the ninth to break the Moo heart, 7-6. Then after a rain out on June 3rd, they ended up playing that game a few games later in Fremont. It was part of a split doubleheader, so it was only a 7-inning contest, with Hastings winning 5-2, and then Fremont played the Nebraska Prospects after that. Fremont beat Hastings here in Hastings when the Sodbusters were going through a little bit of a funk. That was back on June 30th, a 6-3 win for the Moo. Then on July 4th, the Sodbusters had their second walk-off win against the Moo. It went 10 innings, with Hastings winning 7-6, despite being out-hit 11-7 in that game. And then on July 11th in Fremont, Hastings taking care of the Moo, place that has not been kind overall in the history of the programs, but Hastings, no problem, scoring 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, and won it 11-3. As far as the numbers heading into this game, Hastings hitting .261, a team ERA of 4.48. The Fremont Moo coming into this contest. Take a look at their team stats in here in just a moment, as the Sodbusters and Moo getting set to go as we bring you Sodbuster Baseball today from YouTube. Ryan Valenta, should be a fun one tonight, and really neat to have a Saturday-Sunday series against the Moo here. You mentioned the fact, purple down the right field line. Listen for the cowbells. They bring the cowbells, and they will annoy the heck out of you. But they're on the road here, and it's cool that they are close enough to support their team here today in Hastings.
You might think it's like an SEC football game at some point, but nope, it's Central Nebraska baseball. The Fremont Moo, and told you about their interesting streaks to the season. But for the Sodbusters, too, it's also been a little interesting for the week as well, because it started off pretty darn good with the 3 wins, 2 over the Prospects, and then 1 against the Bison. That slip up on Thursday where the team just didn't play very good baseball. And then last night, we wondered how they were going to come out last night, because the Bison team, yeah, they were fighting tough. They were 13 games without a win. They got their win on Thursday, and then you think, oh, maybe they're going to come out here with a bunch of fuel and try and go for back-to-back wins, but that was not really the case. The Bison just really fell flat, and that just showed the resilience of the Sodbusters team. We know that they play the best baseball when they are able to go to their fundamentals, low line drives, hit balls hard on the ground, steal bases, be aggressive on the base paths, and it's with the fundamentals as well. I was looking down at the field. Scott Galusha's got the microphone, and I think he might about to be making an announcement. So there is no umpires on the field as well. His first pitch is about to happen.
Do you notice me at the umpires meeting?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
That's correct. Currently, we don't have umpires.
Oh, no.
There was a problem, and they're working on it. So we're going to have a little delay. We're working on it the best we can, but I only found out we had a problem at 6:18. So bear with me tonight. I apologize. But there's nothing we can do about it other than trying to figure it out. So hang tight a little bit. Go upstairs and get a happy hour drink. I'll tell Trevor, get yourself a drink cheaper, and I will keep you posted as soon as I know. Sorry about that. Not my fault, but I'll take the blame anyway. That's how this works. So I apologize, and we're working on it. Hang tight with me, and then we'll go from there. In the meantime, I did talk to the National Weather Service. They do think storms are going to be here between 9 and 9:30, but I will talk to them about every 45 minutes to keep everybody posted on what that looks like. So your guys' safety is first and foremost with me, but right now we have to be patient. We're going to see what happens here in the next couple minutes. Thank you.
And I was going to theorize that, because I know we were inquiring about the umpires. We learned about a couple of guys who weren't coming, and I kept seeing Scott on his phone at 6:15, and I'm thinking, I don't see umpires. I was going to theorize that earlier, but we were talking more baseball instead of that. But I had that horrible fear, and indeed that has come to pass. So the Hastings Sodbusters and the Fremont Moo will hopefully get going before long, as we can give you the matchups in terms of team numbers. You mentioned the fact that the Sodbusters for the year hitting .261, Fremont hitting .255. Sodbusters a team ERA of 4.48. I'll tell you, Fremont pitches it pretty well. Their team ERA at 3.8, and when you're pitching at Moeller Field the majority of the games, that is not the easiest place to pitch. And check out their strikeout numbers. While the Sodbuster pitchers have struck out 317, Fremont pitchers have struck out 383, almost 70 more strikeouts than Hastings. Now, the Sodbusters have walked fewer. They've walked 199, while Fremont has walked 221. Hit batters about the same, as 64 hit batsmen for the Sodbusters, 65 for Fremont. Opponents sitting 242 against Hastings, 237 against the Fremont Moo. And it's always fascinating. Ryan, you were talking about it yesterday in terms of the hit batsman numbers. Just between these two teams, the Sodbusters have been hit 104 times now. And that was one of the keys, losing to the Bison a couple of days ago. Never got hit, never got walked. Credit to the Bison. They were able to avoid the free passes that day. Fremont's only been hit 79 times. I still think that 104 is a lot.
It is, and the Sodbusters, they've got their guys that have been ball magnets as well, and they've just looked into this whole umpire situation. I was scrolling through my Snapchat memories because I feel like I had got it going, or I had it the other day, and it was actually just over a month ago. Back in 2023, we had a similar incident, but it was an early game. It was a 5 p.m. start time where we didn't have umpires on the field. So
things happen like this, so unfortunately there will be a little bit of a delay tonight, but the hit by pitch category, again, I've got to look at that and see how that compares to other teams on the league, and then the strikeouts too. I know that for a fact that last year the Fremont pitching staff, and they've got a lot of Division I guys, they've got some guys that have gone to or are going to Nebraska, for example, on their roster. Logan Anderson, he was a pitcher for the Nebraska Cornhuskers in the recent seasons, and there was also another guy who actually started and relieved for Nebraska this season. His name escapes me. He was a really tall guy, and so the Fremont Moo, they have lots of Division I talent, so the strikeout rate is there, but just the volatility of the roster too. I know the Sodbusters have been affected by it as well, but looking at Game Changer, there are those guys that don't have numbers, meaning that they've done their time at their respective ball club and they're no longer playing with the team. Fremont has a lot of those guys, and looking at them, especially with the guys that have left, a lot of Division I guys that have bid farewell so far, and Fremont, a team that always has a lot of very good talent, and your pitching is only good as so far. Your offense has to support it as well. It's almost like the Fremont pitching staff is Jacob deGrom in the MLB back when his Cy Young season a few years ago, where he won it when he had an 8-8 record only because the New York Mets couldn't provide him any sort of run support whatsoever. I think there was a stat like if New York had scored 4 runs in each of his starts, he would have been like 21-3 in his starts or whatever. So pitching only gets you so far. Excellent stats for the Moo. Just the offense has let them down, and even the pitching staff didn't do the best in Oahe too. Oahe, they didn't win cheaply by any of those 3 games. Those final scores were 6-2, 4-2, and 10-3. So that middle game was the closest one. So the Fremont pitching staff showed that they're human as well. So the batting can only do so much, especially if they get runs on the scoreboard. If they don't, it's going to be a long summer. And you mentioned it's going to be tough to get them to back into the second half contest or second half standings, because it's running out of time. The season's going to be over in just a week plus. So crunch time. But excited for the rivalry here when we find our umpires.
Tough situation here. Again, if you're just joining us, no umpires. We had thought we knew one of them earlier, and even Scott Galusha had said, well, that guy's not coming. But then we had this terrible experience watching Scott on his phone at about 6:15 thinking, I don't think we've got umpires at all. So while we have a moment, the great thing about this is an opportunity to maybe replay some of our Sodbuster spotlights. And a guy who was the dude yesterday, Kraton Jacobitz, how about the job he has done this season? Now 6-1 at 2.14 ERA, as he was able to do it again, winning pitcher against the Bison 2 different ways. He was the relief winner earlier this week, and then last night, pitching 6 innings, allowing 3 unearned runs, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts. The most impressive stat to me, 0 walks, and throwing 77 pitches. We had an early season interview with him, part of our Sodbuster coverage, and we'll replay that now.
It's one of our first few Sodbusters spotlights of the 2025 season. We've got one of the returning guys here, Ryan Valenta with the Hastings product, Kraton Jacobitz, right after his sensational start on opening day Friday night. 7 no-hit innings and just over 100 pitches. We were looking at the rules, Kraton, and we saw that there was a stipulation that if you were throwing a no-hitter, they technically still could have put you back out there. But talk about how you're feeling after that start, and were you hoping that maybe you would get out there to go in maybe another extra inning or 2?
Yeah, so I hadn't thrown too much all spring, and then I got out there, got the call from Printer yesterday at 1 p.m. that I was getting the start. I was just going out there, just trying to fill up innings and then just do the best I could. First inning was a little shaky, had me a little worried, got out of it, found my rhythm, kept on going. I actually didn't know my pitch count at all. I didn't see it until later that night, but my arm was about as good as it could have been for throwing 100 pitches, and I was willing to do whatever it took to help the team. If you wanted me to go back out there, I would have had no problem with it. If you wanted me to hand it over to somebody else, I would have had no problem with that either.
So how's the arm feeling today, and is that probably the best outing you've ever had, maybe college or even your high school career?
Yeah, so the arm's a little tight today. It doesn't hurt too bad, which is good. Overall, the entire body's sore, which is what you want to feel the day after you have a long outing.
So you're coming back here for another summer. And, reason probably, you're a local guy. You've pitched on this field many times, but just finished up your second year at Cloud County. What was your motivation to come back this summer, and how'd your spring look at Cloud County?
Well, my motivation to come back was I've grown up around the Sodbusters. I came out to their opening day when they first started. I've known Scott for a while. I knew Printer coming back, and I had so much fun last year, and I just wanted to see if I could recreate that feeling.
All right, and Cloud County, looks like you saw a few appearances on the mounds for the T-Birds. Talk about your spring there, and now that you're finished with your second year, what does the future hold for you?
Yeah, so my spring was pretty solid. I didn't get a ton of outings, but when I did, I felt like I went in and made the most out of them. And for the future, I'm not quite sure yet. I've gotten a couple calls and texts from coaches, but I haven't made any final decisions yet.
All right, well, of one of the few guys, I think you're one of 5 guys maybe returning on. There's a lot of new faces, and we're here on day number 2. What's it been like to be back as a Sodbuster and maybe pass on some advice or some words of wisdom to the new guys here?
Yeah, so one thing I've learned from college ball that's completely different from high school is every year you're going to meet a ton of new people. You have to get to know their personalities, like who they are, what makes them tick. And so that's always tough, but it makes it a little bit easier coming back, knowing a few guys, and it's like knowing that you can show other people the ropes of what this team's about.
All right, what is your goal for this summer? Obviously, to get some more innings, I hope, but mechanically or fundamentally, any specific thing that you're focusing on here with the Sodbusters this summer?
Well, yesterday I had a couple issues with my slider, so my real main concern is just to get that really honed in for the rest of my career, and then obviously just work on some hitting spots and location overall.
All right. Well, you're an Adams Central guy, and they just had their best state tournament run of their short career. I know you were so close to getting to the state tournament on multiple occasions. You still keep up with any of those guys, and did you have any contact with them over their state tournament run, or just what was it like to see your old team make it pretty far in state this year?
Yeah, so a lot of those guys that were seniors, they were sophomores when I was a senior, and so like they plugged in roles that where we needed them when I was a senior, and they did a great job. And in Adams Central, most of the kids always played 2 or 3 sports, so we all knew each other all year round. We were all really close, and so it was great to see that team go far and cheer them on.
Awesome. And for the Sodbuster team this summer too, you talked about Coach Printer, who is a player the last 2 years and just fresh out of college. So kind of like under Coach Weiser last year too, you had a guy that was just out of college and doing that for the second year. What has Coach Printer been like? What's kind of his energy and kind of message been to the team early on? And how do you feel about having somebody that's not too much older than you as a head coach?
I mean, I don't have a problem with somebody not being too much older than me being a head coach. It worked really well last year with Danny. As long as they're knowledgeable, doing the best they can and encouraging players, I think that's all they can do. And Printer's done a great job of that so far.
All right. And then I remember we caught up with you last year. Remind us, in college, you said you didn't know where you're going yet, but career goal, if you have a job, something in mind that maybe you're looking to accomplish after you finish your final 2 years as college?
Yeah, so the idea is still the same. I want to graduate my bachelor's in business and then go on to be a grain marketer, commodity trader.
Grain market commodity trader. For those laymen like myself and probably most other people listening, what kind of job does that involve?
So that's really just like farmers have all their grain and sometimes they don't know where, how to sell it. Like my job would be to help them get the most profit they can from their crop.
Interesting stuff from Kraton Jacobitz. Last question I have, you big MLB guy? You got any teams that you're following this year in the major leagues?
I'm a Royals fan. I can't say I'm too big. I try and check up on scores every day, but I can't say overall I'm like watching every game diehard fan.
All right, hobbies-wise, you're going to get a lot of time to mingle and get to know these guys a lot more. What was something that you liked doing last season, and maybe what's when you're not at Duncan Field this summer, what can we expect you to find you doing?
If I'm not at Duncan Field, you'll see me. Well, I'll be working, but if I'm not working here at Duncan Field, I will be on the golf course or fishing.
All right, you got a handicap. How's your golf game?
It's all right. It's not great. I'd say I'm typically shooting around a 90 for 18 holes.
Just more having fun around here?
Yeah, I've found it as a great way to relieve stress, but sometimes it can put even more stress on you. But overall, I find it relaxing and fun. So I just go out there and just play.
All right, last question, whether it's a course here in Hastings or maybe around the Hastings area, what's the best golf course to play 18 at here around here?
Best golf course at Hastings by far is Lockland.
You've gotten to go to Lockland. Okay, is that worth getting the membership for?
I would say so. I go out there all the time. I really love it. People out there are always really nice. Southern Hills is also a great course, but Lockland has the edge on it.
Market, commodity, agriculture.
Jacobitz, Kraton Jacobitz, a Sodbuster Spotlight, replaying that from earlier in the year. In case you're just joining us, we are umpireless at this time. A really good interview that was conducted by our own Ryan Valenta with Kraton Jacobitz earlier this season, and since then Kraton has committed and is going to be playing his college baseball next stop at Arkansas Tech. Scott Galusha, I would not want to be you poor guy, as none of your own doings. You even thought you knew who the umpire was earlier, and you found out that guy wasn't coming, but little did you know that no umpires were coming.
Yeah, that would have been a helpful bit of information a little while ago. But, I guess you can chalk this up to crap happens. It's just really disappointing. We have a nice crowd here tonight, and we're excited to play baseball, and yet we're having issues that are out of my control. And I try to do as many things to help us be successful as I can with a lot of good help, and it's just disappointing that we're at this point in right now. But I know that the powers that be are working on it. For the life of me, I can't figure out how come, what happened, what the problem was, and I should have known. I wanted to just explain to the people that are watching what's happening. So today I was on my way down to Hastings at roughly, early this morning, listening to the British Open, by the way. Still a golfer at heart. Anyway, one of my umpires called me and said, "Hey, they don't have a game listed for you for Sunday." I said, "Oh, that's interesting. I don't know why that would be. We play Fremont at 6:35 just like everybody. It's not a rescheduled game. It's on our schedule." So then I said, "I'll call." So I called Sean Johnson, who does a fantastic job with our umpires, and said, "Yeah, I don't have a game listed for you tomorrow." And I said, "Okay, well, can we fix that?" And he said, "Sure." So ended the phone conversation about 10 minutes later, and he said, "Okay, you have Chris Simpson, and I think it's Jim Peters. I can't remember for sure if it's the first name or not. So, Mr. Peters, if I got your name wrong, I apologize if you're listening." So I said, "Okay, good. That's fine."
For tomorrow.
I didn't
even think about tonight.
No, I didn't think about asking for tonight. And so then you guys, I get the normal text at 6 o'clock who the umpires are today. And you can even see in my phone, I started typing Chris Sintek, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to call Chris and ask him who he's with.
Yeah.
And so I called Chris, and he goes, "I'm not there tonight." And I said, "You got to be kidding me. I thought that's what they said." So anyway, that would have been helpful information to know about 9 hours ago or so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't know that there was a problem until approximately 6:18. So right now I know that everybody, the nice part about it is we're well respected in the community, and we've got a lot of people that are working on this for me. I know Sean Johnson, the head of our umpires, is working on it. We're making phone calls. I just talked to John Linden. So I know we have one coming down, and I just saw Brian Frew walk in here too. I don't know if he knows this yet, but he might have to be a base umpire, and because he's a certified umpire as well, and so am I. But I have other. I'm not sure that would be 100% good.
Yeah,
if
they
I was
probably
out
wouldn't
there
like
too.
that. Call your own balls and strikes.
But I'd be good at that because I think we'd have a good chance that night. But anyway, so that's what's happening. So I apologize for that. And I always get too much credit when things go right, and I get too much credit when things go wrong. But ultimately, it falls on me, and that's something that I could have checked on. But we've just had zero problems in 3 years, so I didn't even think that they would miss a regular season game that's been on the schedule since February.
Yeah.
So I apologize for that, and I apologize to my guys already. They're baseball players, so they didn't really care. It's just a little bit difficult for my starting pitcher who thought he was ready to go at this point. So we'll have to play that by ear, but I guess at the end of the day, we were going to play it by ear pitching-wise anyway, so that doesn't really change a whole lot. So I wanted to come up here and let people know what's going on, and mostly because I wanted to do something other than feel my blood pressure go up. And so my wife would be, I don't know if she's watching, my wife would be really proud that I have stayed calm and not got mad at anybody. And I just feel bad because we have a great crowd, and we were already going to fight the weather a little bit in terms of timing. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it except for do the best we can. We're going to continue to do that because that's the Sodbuster way, and we're going to try to make the best of whatever we can do. And hopefully we'll get this going here in the relative near future.
Scott Galusha, owner, general manager. Appreciate the update from him. Again, no umpires here for the matchup between the Hastings Sodbusters and Fremont Moo. We'll get going when we can. In the meantime, we have an opportunity to play back another one of our Sodbuster Spotlights. It is a Sodbuster Spotlight. We get a chance to hear from Chase Miller, who's pretty much become the everyday shortstop for the Hastings Sodbusters. Chase, your background, another one of the Michigan guys. Tell us a bit about home.
So I'm originally from Indiana, but I go up to school in Michigan, but it's definitely a lot hotter down here, but I've loved it. I mean, Michigan's always, it's always cold, but like it kind of makes you tougher, get used to the weather, adapt to it, but I've loved it so far. I had a good first year in college.
You mentioned being from Indiana. How'd you get to Saginaw Valley State up in Michigan?
So I've kind of known Coach Petrovics, who's our head coach up there. He saw me in travel ball. I actually was home from my hometown, so that was a cool story, and then just getting to play for him has been awesome.
And the geography of it, is Saginaw Valley State fairly close to home?
It's about 4 hours. It's a lot north, but I'm kind of on the border, so it's not too bad.
Very neat. We hear from Chase Miller. He's the starting shortstop most days for this Hastings Sodbuster team. Battled through some injuries early in the summer. Tell us a bit about how you're doing.
Yeah, I tweaked my ankle a little bit when we were up in Casper, but Scott was awesome right when it happened, texting me how I'm feeling, got me to PTSR when I got back, but it feels great now. I wear a sleeve on a brace, and then it's been 100% as of now.
Very cool to see you kind of step in. I know maybe that wasn't plan A. Did it kind of come upon you quickly? Okay, I'm probably going to have to get the majority of the reps now at shortstop. Were you kind of okay with that and up for the challenge?
Yeah, for sure. I came just to get as many at-bats as I could this summer, just being able to step up, hopefully play good, play in the field good, and get some hits definitely helps with the team. Just love to do it.
Are you kind of an everyday shortstop? Do you like the second base? What is your position of choice if you had to choose?
It's tough. I've always played both, middle and field, so really just wherever the team needs me is where I'll be. I'll hopefully step up for them. But shortstop, I feel like I have a little more range and to pick up and get as many balls as I can, so wherever the team needs me.
The hitting aspect of it seems like you're seeing the ball better, and maybe if you're not getting the hits, pretty patient at the plate. Talk a bit about your approach.
Yeah, just trying to get my pitch. I've been seeing a lot of fastballs, so that's always just jump on the ones that are there and just be selective. I don't want to chase the ones out of the zone and just ruin an at bat. So just trying to get on base as much as I can for the team is my main aspect.
We're hearing from Chase Miller. He is one of the middle infielders, and it's amazing. The roster kind of fluctuates. It comes and goes. There for a while, you guys had a plethora of middle infielders. Were you able to learn some stuff from other guys as well as the coach, who's kind of a shortstop at his own right?
Yeah, everyone has their own kind of like way of playing up in the middle infield. Just hearing from everybody on different like parts of honestly the nation, just all over, just hearing how they see it and kind of learning it and trying to do it myself, it's been awesome.
And you mentioned that, seeing guys from all over the country. I mean, it's one thing to do that in college, but you guys get here, you meet one day, and you play the next. Tell us a bit about that aspect of it, to build chemistry almost immediately when you get here.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, I really only knew Jarvis and Zane and Emarsh coming up here, but getting to meet people from Oklahoma, Arkansas, we kind of clicked. I mean, we're all in college, so none of us knew each other, but it felt like after a week we were all brothers.
And as we talk, you're right in a hunt for a postseason berth. Does that make it more special here as you try to close out the season on a high note?
Yeah, I mean, Coach said, if you're not competing, a lot of people don't really show up to watch the game. So to keep it and be in the hunt for it and giving Hastings something to come watch has been awesome.
We're hearing from Chase Miller. Academically, tell us a bit about how it's going in college. What are you studying?
Good. I'm actually in accounting and kind of in the business part. Both of my parents have been business and sales, accounting. So, I mean, I've always been big in my academics, always studied hard. We have like big study goals at school, so it's something important to me.
And the business department at Saginaw Valley State pretty solid?
Yeah, we have a strong like kind of business department there. It's definitely something that like going into there, I was happy that we do have a strong program there, so I'm not just going there straight for baseball.
Now, an Indiana guy, do you follow a college? Do you like pro teams? Tell us a bit about, are you a fan of somebody?
I'm a big Hoosiers fan, so this fall was awesome to go watch, especially with the first year having a good football team. I actually got to go to some of the games in the playoffs. It was a good fall for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, because it's not, I would say, a traditional football power. So to have a fall like that, probably, you never take it for granted there, do you?
Yeah, for sure. We're usually just a basketball school, so kind of got to mix it around. Our baseball team was good this year. Just to have a full year of good sports is awesome to see.
Do you follow any of the pro sports?
I've always been a big White Sox fan. My grandpa loved them, so I've always watched them with him. Haven't got to much of the games, but I'm always watching them, keeping up on the stats. And the All-Star was just a great All-Star break this year.
He is Chase Miller. That is one of our Sodbuster spotlights. If you're just tuning in, no umpires. A little bit of a snafu, and umpires theoretically are on the way. Hopefully we'll get things started sooner rather than later, but we'll see how it goes. We will continue to play some Sodbuster spotlights. When we come back, a replay of an interview with Tyler Welch as we continue our coverage. Hastings and Fremont hopefully coming up soon, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Another episode of the Sodbuster Spotlights with one of the mainstays of the Sodbuster program, back for his third year, Tyler Welch, the Tucson native and Hastings College guy. Just finished up his fourth year at Hastings College and also had a pretty cool moment last week, recording the second win of the season via a walk-off. Tyler, let's revisit that walk-off back last week. A sacrifice fly to the second baseman. One of the more unconventional walk-offs you had, but super cool to win the game like that. What was that like for you, and have you had many moments like that in your baseball career?
I've had a couple walk-offs throughout my career. Nothing like that, though. Most of the other ones I've had have been a little more, I don't know. That one was crazy because when I initially hit it, I didn't think I was going to get it in. I was kind of like, oh, crap. But once I saw him going further and further out in the right field, and then once I saw him slip and fall, I kind of knew that we were going to score a run there.
Very cool. Well, you just finished up your fourth year at Hastings College, so you are a graduated man. What'd you get your degree in, and what's your plan now that you are a graduated guy?
I got my degree in community health and wellness, but I think I'm going to plan on getting my real estate license this summer and then going back home and figuring that field out and doing that for a while.
All right. Well, since you graduated, there is absolutely no obligation for you to come and get back experience for another time since you're pretty much done with baseball. What motivated you to come back for year number 3 with the Sodbusters, and what are you hoping to accomplish this summer?
I mean, I just want to have fun out here, honestly, with all the guys, and baseball has been a part of my life, my whole life, so it's a hard thing to step away from, and Sodbusters has been a good experience for me, so I wanted to come back.
Well, now that it's your third year and in process of your third year, last year team broke a lot of records. The first year, maybe not so many. What was your favorite Sodbuster memory, if you can think of one?
I don't know if I really have one exact favorite memory. I mean, I don't know, just the road trips, playing. I don't know. I mean, you don't really remember the games as much. You just remember being around the guys.
Well, how about those guys? You've seen a lot of teammates come and go throughout the years. Any names that stand out that were maybe part of last year's team or the team before that you got to know really well that you maybe didn't know before, and you would call an acquaintance going forward?
I mean, I would say James Velasquez. I mean, I went to school with him. And then there's a couple guys that went to Arkansas Tech, and then Coach Printer, I became pretty close with him. We played together for 2 years, and yeah, there's quite a few guys I got close with.
All right, well, that's another good point that you bring up, too. We're talking with Tyler Welch, one of the journeyman Hastings Sodbusters, playing for the third different head coach in your Sodbuster tenure. First, Coach Skipper, then last year, Coach Danny, who actually got to play with at Hastings College, and now you got to do it with another one of the guys that was just a player at the team. What has Coach Printer's leadership been like as of recent, and how do you feel he's prepared to lead this team into battle this summer?
I think he's fully prepared to take us to wherever we need to be. That dude is one of the smartest baseball IQ guys I've ever met, so I got full trust in him, and he's always got a game plan. He's always thinking, and there's always a reason he's doing something. So.
All right. Well, here at home is at Duncan Field, which you've also played spring ball at, but you get to go to quite a few places very far away here in summer ball. Do you have a favorite ballpark that was an away ballpark that you went to in your Sodbuster career?
I like the Zaps field. I mean, it's not a super nice field, but the scenery around it, and I kind of like the town around it. I like it. There's water around, and there's a creek behind, and I don't know. I think it's a cool field.
Awesome stuff. Tyler Welch with the Hastings Sodbusters here. Final question. It's a long day of summer ball, and we had a rain-out day, so you got a day off. There's lots of stretches and games. You guys are going to be spending most of your time on the ball field, but when you're not at the ball field, what can we expect to find you and the guys doing as a hobby?
Well, I know quite a few of us just like to hang out and go fishing. I mean, kind of like yesterday when it was raining all day and pretty cold. I mean, we'll just play some video games, which isn't the best thing to be doing, but there ain't much else you can do when the weather's like that. And we'll do a little golfing as well, but that's about it.
All right, golfer, I've talked to a lot of guys, and a lot of guys are golfers on the team. In your opinion, past or present Sodbusters, who is the best golfer that you've ever played with?
Probably my former teammate at the college and here with the Sodbusters, James Velasquez. Kind of like I said before, he was a scratch golfer in high school, and I've golfed with him quite a few times, and he can swing it really well.
Tyler Welch, a good interview there from Ryan Valentes. We are killing some time as we wait for umpires here. The Hastings Sodbusters, the Fremont Moo. Believe we have a field umpire, need a home plate umpire, and hopefully we'll be getting going before long here as Hastings getting set to go against the Moo. Welch, by the way, 6th in the batting order today. That interview from earlier this season as we continue to feature some of the guys that we had interviews with from earlier in the year. We're going to play back another one of those when we return as Luke Causy is going to be batting 3rd today. We talked to him after he hit the lone home run here at Duncan Field earlier in the season. That interview coming away next. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner. It's a Sodbuster Spotlight with Luke Causy, Arkansas Tech product. During Tuesday's game against Owyhee, he crushed a 2-run home run at the bottom of the second. The Sodbusters won that game 11-4. Luke, take us through that at bat.
I don't really remember too much of it besides that one little part of it, but I got a good barrel on it and started sprinting left the yard, so it felt really good.
Pretty dadgum cool as we visit with Luke Causy. First home run of the season at Duncan Field. First in 2 years, as a matter of fact. Now, are you a power hitter by trade? Are you a guy that generally has a chance to leave the yard?
I wouldn't say I'm a power hitter. I don't think I have the most power in the world, but I got it out, so I guess I got a little bit.
Talking with Luke Causy, got some limited playing time for Arkansas Tech in the spring. Talk a bit about this summer. What are you hoping to accomplish here in Hastings?
Really just get a little better throughout the summer and get a lot of wins this summer.
And how big is it for you to get at bats every day? So far, you're playing pretty much every day. Talk about the opportunity to come out and get swings every day.
It's been good. A lot of fun seeing baseballs and everything. It's been a lot of fun for sure. Good time, and I think it'll be a lot of help for me going into the next school year, getting the at-bats that I'm getting this summer.
You got a lot of Arkansas Tech guys on the team. How much does that help the comfort level as you're in your first year here at Hastings?
A lot. Just being around guys I already know and then meeting a whole bunch of new guys. Everyone's been pretty cool, so it's been good.
And that's kind of been a regular mainstay. Had you heard about Hastings? There's some guys who've been here before. I mean, you've got a couple guys who were on the team last year, and then you think a guy like Sawyer Duddleston who spent a couple of years here. Had you visited at all before you came here?
No, whenever I got here was the first time I got here, but a lot of guys from Tech always talk about it, so I knew it from them.
Talk a little bit about your home high school. Coming out of high school and going to Arkansas Tech, was it always going to be Tech, or did you think about some other places?
There was a couple different schools that ended up offering me, and I chose Tech because I liked the campus and everything just seemed right with it.
And you cover a lot of ground out there in right field. Is defense a big emphasis in your game?
Yes, sir. I try to make it at least. Any play or ball that I can get to, I try to make it to it and make a good play on it. And if I can't, then I can't, but I try to at least.
From Arkansas, are you a Razorback fan?
No, sir.
Do you follow a college? Do you follow a pro team?
No, not really. I'm not really too biased towards anyone. I just like watching it.
Tell us a bit about academics. What are you studying in Arkansas Tech? What's the long-range goal?
Business finance is what I'm trying to major in, but I'm not really sure yet whether I want to do like accounting or personal finance.
Can set the foundation for a lot of things with business finance. What classes have you taken that have really been interesting for you so far at Arkansas Tech?
A lot of the accounting classes. Accounting has been the main thing for me so far, so really I think probably just the accounting class has been the main thing for me.
Here at Hastings, I mean, you've got the Arkansas Tech guys. Talk about some of the other guys you've gotten to know. Has it been a pretty tight group in terms of the chemistry you've established here in the first week or so?
Yes, sir. I think everyone's starting to get along a lot better. Everyone's getting comfortable around each other. It's still, I think for the most part, everyone's pretty comfortable. It's just more getting used to everyone, being around everyone.
You had a chance to experience a walk-off a couple of days ago. How cool is that? Is that also kind of instant chemistry when you can share that with your teammates when you guys ended up walking it off against Spearfish?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was really exciting getting to do that. Just being a part of that was pretty cool, and getting to run on the field with all the guys and everything was a lot of fun.
And really, you've won so many different kinds of games. I mean, you had the 7 no-hit innings, day number 1. You've won a slugfest. You've won a walk-off, and now today, kind of getting a runaway. Is that kind of also cool to see a variety of ways to get in the win column?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we've basically seen it all at this point. Literally anything and everything you could think of, how we've won is how we've won.
And a 4-game win streak, what's it going to take to keep it going?
Keep playing the way we're playing. I think really that's all we need to do.
Josh Printer, young coach, talk a bit about the chemistry you guys have with him. What's he bring to the program as a first-year head coach?
He's been a good head coach. I think him being younger kind of helps a lot because he can relate to everyone on the team because he's not too much older than us. And yeah, I think that's the main thing that helps him a lot.
You guys also steal a heck of a lot of bases. How cool is that? Do you enjoy that aspect of it, being aggressive on the bases?
Yes, sir. I think being aggressive is a good part of the baseball game. So being able to do that with everyone on the team has been a lot helpful.
Arkansas Tech's Luke Causy with a 2-run home run in Tuesday's 11-4 win over Oahe. That's a Sodbuster Spotlight. I'm Steve Stein.
That interview from earlier in the year as we are killing time because there are no umpires, but Ryan Valenta, the update is the umpires are on the way.
And we are expected to have a first pitch at around 7:35 now tonight, so 25 minutes from now, exactly 1 hour after our first pitch, and we're told that John Linden, who's in the area, who's been a Sodbuster umpire a handful of times this season, it was nice enough to drop his Saturday plans, whatever they may have been, and come and call the balls and strikes tonight. And then a new face, I don't know if anybody's heard of him, Brian Frew. Name sounds maybe a little bit familiar. Some people might know him, but Scott Galusha was joking on the field. He's like, I've never met him before, but he's a good guy. But no, Brian Frew, one of the the co-owners of the team, who is actually here with his family tonight. I stepped down to grab a drink from the concession stands, and he's got his wife and his band of kids. There's a lot of them, we'll just say that. So he is sacrificing Saturday family time, and he is going to be the bases umpire tonight. And we joked with Scott. I said, I've umpired baseball before, Scott. I can do the bases. And he said, well, Ryan, you're like the 7th person to make that joke to me. I was like, okay, well, you actually do have to be certified in the league. So Brian is certified, so he's going to call the bases today. So once they get here, and we're hoping to do it at 7:35 first pitch, and then have our anthem at 7:25. Of course, if you're just joining us, if you've tuned away, we'll absolutely do our starting lineups again before that. But I think we'll have maybe a spotlight or two more, as we still have about 15 more minutes before everything gets going tonight.
As the Sodbusters and the Fremont Moo, big game for both teams as they try to remain in the hunt for the second half title. Right now, Hastings 3rd place, but behind Oahe and Spearfish. Fremont in 5th, but first place is 13-5. Last place, if you will, is at 10-9. So separating a little bit with the Oahe sweep of Fremont. So this is probably a bigger game for Fremont than it is for Hastings, but Hastings knows how big it is as well after that loss earlier this week to Bison baseball. So big one here today and another one tomorrow between the Sodbusters and the Fremont Moo. When we come back, a replay of an interview is going to be in the lineup today. Jude Greavves, as Ryan Valenta visited with him here recently. We'll have that interview when we come next. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Ryan Valenta with our next episode of the Sodbusters Spotlights, and today we feature Jude Greavves, one of the Sodbuster players that comes to the Sodbusters from, not too far away from the Midwest, down in the Kansas City area. Jude, thanks for joining us. Looking forward to hearing how you became a Sodbuster this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chase Phillips goes to my school. He's from Aurora, Nebraska. So I was looking for a summer team this year, and I was talking to him, and he said he thinks I'd have a lot of fun up here and it'd be good for me. So my coach talked to Scott and got me on board with him as well.
All right, so you're teammates with Chase Phillips. That's down at Metropolitan Community College. Playing for them, what's it been like, and how you ended up there for your spring school?
So I actually went to a tryout my senior year of high school there, and then so after that I got an offer and going there the last 2 years. So my freshman year, I tore my labrum. And then this last year, about a week before the season, went to catch a pop fly. Actually, Chase Phillips hit it. And broke my right ring finger, clean in half, compound fracture, middle practice. So this is really kind of the first long stretch of games that I've been able to play in the last almost 2 years, really. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been nice.
Well, that's good to know. We saw that, because I think it said you didn't play this past spring, but you played a couple of games in the year before. So do you still have another year at Metro then, because you've had some injuries? Do you get some extra time there? What's that look like?
Yeah, I'll be a redshirt sophomore this year. So I didn't get the redshirt my freshman year because I played a couple too many games, but last year I didn't play it also. I got a redshirt.
All right. Well, how about this summer here? You talked about coming here with the teammates. That's been a nice to get to know the face. What has it been like when you first got here compared to now? How comfortable are you with the guys, and what has it been like getting to know this band of misfits on the team?
Yeah, it's been really fun. Everyone kind of clicked pretty early. We obviously went on a real good hot winning streak, so that was good for our team chemistry, and ever since then we've just bonded a lot more. A bunch of good friends now.
For you personally, what's been your goal this summer? Has that changed at all? Whether that's you want to get more at-bats, improve your time in the field, what does that look like?
Yeah, so due to my injuries, I didn't get very many at-bats the last couple of years, so trying to get back into it, trying to get my stamina up, catching again. Obviously, it's takes a toll on your body. So getting used to that, doing it again, doing it in the heat has been nice. Just getting at bats, getting a lot of playing time has been fun.
All right, so we've seen you mostly at catcher and designated hitter. Is catcher your main position?
Yeah.
And has it always been that? How has that been?
I started catching my 8th grade year, about that, and then ever since then, it's been my main position, yeah. This year at school, I'm going to be catching and playing first base, so try to get a little reps.
All right. Well, since you're from the Kansas City area, are you a Royals fan, or do you have a college or Major League Baseball team that you like to follow along, or maybe some players in the MLB?
Royals, absolutely. Everyone on the Royals.
Everyone on the Royals. Have you always been a Royals fan? Were you paying close attention when they were the World Series champions about a decade ago?
Oh, yeah. That was some of the best times of my life. In 2014, when they lost, I was 9 years old. Worst day of my life. Still remember it vividly.
So do you get to go to a lot of Royals games when you're back home for the summer, or are you a little bit too busy with baseball?
I try to go as much as I can. I catch a few games, but obviously with baseball it's tough, but I try to get as many games in as I can.
Talking with Jude Greavves, one of the catchers for the Hastings Sodbusters, and I know at one point there was a lot of catchers on the team as well. What was it like? Did you get to maybe pick the brain of some of the other catchers and learn some new techniques? Maybe you taught them some new techniques. What was it like to get to know the other catchers on the team and just see what kind of style they caught?
Yeah, it was cool. We talked a lot about different styles of receiving, different styles of blocking. One knee down has been a popular thing recently over the last couple of years, so we talk about which knee we do and how we handle each pitch, and it's been good.
All right, so as far as academic-wise at Metro Community College, do you have a major set? Are you just working on gen eds right now? What kind of interests you in the education part right now?
I just got my associates last year, so I'll be going into this year probably focus on business.
All right, business, a very popular route among a lot of athletes. Any sort of dream job or path that you might take with that business associate's degree?
Obviously, dream job is hopefully go pro baseball, but I'm not really sure now. Kind of decide and just plan it as it goes. We'll see what happens.
Okay, so you're among the guys that they want to make it to go pro. What does that? Do you have a plan in place? I want to go play at this league or this school and try and get to go pro, or is he just kind of riding the wave right now?
As of right now, I'm hoping I can have a real good season this year. Hopefully get some good offers going into my next 2 years of college and then see what happens from there.
All right, Jude Greavves, how about a hobby? I know you guys, you're in the middle of a stretch of pretty much a game every day for 2 weeks, but when you're not at Duncan Field this summer or even in regular summer, what do you like to do for a hobby?
Recently, I've been a lot into fishing. Just got into golfing actually maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm terrible, but it's been fun. I've gone quite a few times since then, and it helps pass the time.
So baseball swing and golf swing probably don't translate the best, I would assume.
Not exactly. They're very different, but yeah.
Do you have a favorite memory at any level of baseball, whether it was winning like your youth baseball championship or sometime in high school? Anything stick out that you'll never forget on a baseball field?
I went to Cooperstown when I was in 12U, and I hit 7 home runs that weekend, so that was a pretty fun tournament.
So you were was that part of the Little League World Series then?
No, it wasn't exactly the Little League World Series. It was just a tournament full of, I don't even know how many teams, 100 teams maybe, from all over the United States, and everyone went up to Cooperstown, New York, and played on those tiny little baseball fields, so everyone's hit a bunch of home runs, but it was a lot of fun.
So that was at 12U. Do you still know some guys from that 12U team back home? Do you chop it up? Hey, remember when we went to Cooperstown? Just tell us a little bit more about that experience.
Yeah, actually, there's a kid on my college team right now who was on the same team with me when we were 12 years old, so it was cool to see him again and talk about some of those experiences that we had. I played with him for a long time, so it's a lot of fun to be able to play with those kids that you played with when I was a kid.
Super neat. Well, one thing I'm curious about too is that the Midwest food. I know there's food to the Kansas City area. Kansas City barbecue is very popular. Do you have a dog in that fight that Kansas City barbecue's the best food in the region, or what's your favorite food?
Kansas City barbecue's best food in the whole nation.
What's your favorite post-game meal that the Sodbusters have served this summer?
I really liked yesterday's actually. I don't know, it was pasta. Where was it from?
Blue Fork Kitchen
Blue
pasta.
Fork. Yeah, that was really good. I love the chicken Alfredo. It was awesome.
All right. So are you staying with Chase Phillips with your host family, or who are you staying with this summer?
I'm actually married, so me and my wife just have an apartment just down the street, about 5 minutes away.
So you guys just rented an apartment for the summer then?
Yes.
And is she a regular at the games? Can we find her in the stands pretty often?
Yeah, she comes every night. She sits on the first base side, about 3 rows up probably.
And so I see the ring on your left finger too. Do you still wear that when you're playing?
Yep, it's just a little rubber ring, so I can put it under my batting gloves or under my catcher's mitt, and I don't even have to think about it.
All right, any shout-outs you'd like to give to the family back home or the wife perhaps?
Yeah, all of them. I appreciate everyone. It wouldn't be possible without anybody. Everyone helps me a lot over these years, so I appreciate everyone.
Jude Greavves, he is a man of lots of interesting features that we now know, and we appreciate him joining us on our latest Sodbusters Spotlight. You can find the rest of them right here on Spotify. Ryan Valenta, we'll see you next time.
Spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We are getting closer to Sodbuster baseball after we had an umpiring snafu. Okay, we had no umpires. That was part of the problem. That was the problem, as we were expected to start at 6:35. Let's take it down to Sky Galusha.
When John Linden gets here, can we please say thanks to John, because he just got home and hopped in his car to come down here and try to help us out tonight. And then also I got a text from my buddy and said, any chance that Brian throws you out tonight? That would be funny, but that's not going to happen because I would win any argument, but hopefully that won't happen. But again, thank you very much, Sharp, for this. Crap happens, we're going to get through it, but I appreciate each and every one of you for being here because we can't do this without you, so thank you.
Sky Galusha, owner, general manager, and acting head coach of the Hastings Sodbusters. Man, how many phone calls has that guy made today as a lot of stuff happened, and one of the many reasons that I would not want to have his job.
Well, there's a good reason now that there's not really a calls plan anymore, you know. Remember when you didn't used to get unlimited calls, unlimited texts? You had to pay by the call, the text. If it was back in the day, Scott would be going a little bit over on his phone this week, or even just today, I would say for sure. So, yeah, we appreciate Scott, everything he does. He has been the interim head coach all week, or all weekend. He's on the phone. He's calling the weather service as well, because we're making sure that as there's the National Weather Service facility in Hastings just north of the city limits. So he's making sure that the weather is going to hopefully cooperate until, well, at least towards the end of the game. The Moo are here tomorrow, so if there is some sort of rain delay or suspension of the game, maybe it would be played tomorrow. Maybe we would wait it out and then leave here at 1 a.m. tonight. Who knows? We're just going to have to find out. But just a wacky Saturday night, something you don't see very often. Sodbusters and Moo are set to get going here in about 10 minutes' time. John Linden just officially heard that he is tonight's field umpire, and then Brian Frew. Scott joked, is there any way Brian will throw you out tonight? So he said, nope, because I'm going to win the argument, and he's going to be wrong, whatever it is. So it's a fun situation where I know Brian Frew, he loves the game of baseball. He's a former minor league player with, who was it, Connor, the Phillies or the Yankees? He was the Yankees, or Angels? The Angels. Brian Frew, former minor league player for the Angels, and he's still very much involved in the game. He has a lot of kids involved in youth baseball too, so I know it's probably not a dream come true, but because he's got his brother Nate Frew doing the PA tonight. So if I have my brother out in the umpiring field and I have a microphone, I am going to be giving him an earful all night.
It's going to be entertaining, and like I say, we were hoping for a crisply played game because expecting weather after 9 o'clock, so you figure 6:30, good night, we could be done by 9. Well, no. We need to play 3-2 baseball like they used to play 3-2 softball, where you just come to the plate with a 3-2 count. But I don't think we're going to do that. Yep.
You either walk, you strike out, or you get a hit.
Yep, but that's not going to happen. Let's reset the starting lineups for you for the Hastings Sodbusters and the Fremont Moo, in case you've forgotten. And as far as we know, it is still going to be the same starters. The people you really feel sorry for, the starting pitchers who may have been in their pregame warm-up mode already and then had to shut that down and will have to get warmed up again to be ready to go for their first pitch. But for the Sodbusters, it's Drew Vega leading off and playing second base. He'll be followed by the shortstop, Chase Miller. Luke Causy in right field and batting third. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Brady Alexander. Batting fifth, designated hitter Cale Jensen. And batting sixth, Tyler Welch at first base. Jude Greavves is the catcher, and batting seventh, Joey Hecker at third base. Batting eighth, Chet Hannaford will be the center fielder, and bat ninth, Josh Nolte gets the start for the Hastings Sodbusters. For the Fremont Moo, Carter Sintek, shortstop, leads it off. Rocco Geritano in center field, batting second. Cooper Fucino is the first baseman and batting third. Batting fourth, it's Henry Heyman playing left field.
It's Timon Long doing the catching and batting 6th. Nate Wachter in right field batting 6th. Joshua Hardiman is designated hitter and batting 7th. Grant Ryan at third base batting 8th. Rob Hodges at second base batting 9th. Tyler Wise is the pitcher. Once again for the Sodbusters, Vega, Miller, Causy, Alexander, Jensen, Welch, Greavves, Hecker, and Hannaford with Nolte on the mound. For the Moo, Sintek, Geritano, Fucino, Heyman, Long, Wachter, Hardiman, Ryan, and Hodges with Wise on the mound. Hastings Sodbusters 25-17, 9-5 in the second half standings in the Independence League. Fremont coming in at 20-22, 10-9 in the second half. Losers of 3 in a row up in Oahe. That allows Oahe to build a little cushion at 13-5, a game and a half in front of Spearfish at 10-5, Hastings at 9-5, Casper 11-7, and again Fremont 10-9. Those 5 teams will be battling for the top spots. Spearfish has already won the first half, and they will be in the championship series regardless. If they win the second half, it'll be whoever has the second best overall record. And right now, a lot of high drama with another week to go. The Plainsmen, the travel team, they closed out 2-7 in the second half standings. The Prospects are 2-6. Bison baseball at 1-14. Bison made the long road trip to Casper to play their matchup today. Meanwhile, Oahe and Spearfish, huge series beginning today. After yesterday, Oahe beat Fremont 10-3, and Spearfish rallied in 12 to beat Casper 15-14.
That box score was absolutely insane. I was just looking at it before the game. Casper down 2 in the 9th. They score 2 runs to tie it. Spearfish scores 2 in the 10th. Casper scores 2 in the 10th. Spearfish scores 2 in the 11th. Casper scores 2 in the 11th. And then it takes up to 12 innings. Spearfish gets their free runner home. And then Casper strands the game-tying run at second base. That box score for Spearfish, 15 runs on 15 hits. Casper, 14 runs on 14 hits. And Spearfish, they had to throw 7 pitchers in that game. Casper only threw 4. They had guys with a multi-inning relief, but multi-hit games all throughout the lineups for both teams. 3-hit games, 2-hit games, and pitchers. ERAs probably didn't take a fun turn in that game as well, but Spearfish and Casper not going to be the last time that they see each other this season as well. And for the Sodbusters, you look at their schedule, and we got the dose of Casper and Spearfish in the first half, so fortunate enough that we didn't have to go into them or play them at all in the second half. It's just the Prospects and the Oahe Zap after this weekend series going forward. But for the Prospects, the Spuds and the Spearfish Sasquatch, and you're rooting for Spearfish, honestly, if you're Hastings here, because if they sweep Casper in those final few games that they have, then Hastings, if they win their final few games, they would likely jump Casper if Spearfish wins the second half. Sodbusters have the second best overall record, and they're going dancing.
And that game, I think when we left, it was 7-4 Casper in the 4th. And Spearfish put up 5 runs. Each team had 5-run innings in that game. And that's why I love playing at Duncan Field. I mean, we have our share. We had a couple of 5-run innings yesterday. But for the most part, it's real baseball, normal scores. Man, you get up at elevation a little bit in Casper and in Spearfish. And these 15-14 ones are not out of the ordinary. And plus smaller parks. And I get spoiled at Duncan Field watching games with no home runs. I know people love home runs. They love the home run derby, but I just triples are a lot more exciting to me than home runs.
Yeah, if you're Cale Jensen, you love hitting here. That one night where he had a multi-triple game, and even Luke Causy too. He's down on the field catching the infield right now for the Sodbusters. What a season he has been having, and it's so good to have him back. Again, he had his first night back in 11 days for the Sodbusters last night because he had injured his knee, likely diving for baseball. It just speaks on how hard of a competitor that Luke Causy is, because he's a guy who went down and said, "How's your knee feeling?" And I asked him, "Is it that diving down the line?" He's like, "I think so, maybe." So he probably diving to that and whacking his knee. He probably didn't even register it. He's like, "Oh well, that's what I do." And
you say which time? Because
exactly.
I mean, there was, and how many diving catches did he make to end innings
with runners in scoring position. There was a 2 or 3 game span in there where he saved a half a dozen runs with his defense.
Yeah, so he's been one of the bright spots for the offense, so it's good to finally have him back. And we were talking about triples here in the ballpark. Luke Causy just hit his 5th triple of the season last night, and that is a stat that now leads all Sodbusters in the game. 18 triples, 3 home runs, 48 doubles. Sodbusters averaging just over 6 runs on average per game. A team that always has seen the magic here at Duncan Field. Their record here now this summer, 18-7, only 7-10 on the road. And to end out the season, pretty much the end of the season at the road, or on here at home and rather on the road, is super good for the guys too. The fans are getting in on it too, and they know that the Sodbusters are playing meaningful baseball too. So it's just a lot of fun to be here and know that, if we win this game, if we keep it going, we'll have a chance to make it the playoffs.
And you mentioned those stats. Contrast that with Fremont because they play in a much more double-friendly park. Well, the Sodbusters have that big number of triples, 18. Fremont coming in to this game, they have only 4 triples. They have hit 13 home runs compared to the Sodbusters, as Hastings is not a home run hitting team. You're not going to have many here at Duncan Field, and even on the road. So 3 home runs total. So they've out-homered the Sodbusters 13-3. They have out-doubled the Sodbusters 77-48, but the Sodbusters have the 18 triples compared to just 4 for Fremont, and some of that is where you play. Some of that is the way you put your roster together. And for Hastings, almost everybody can run. We talk about, the slow, lumbering catchers. Graham Hilton was almost a double-digit base stealer. Jude Greavves can steal bases. You had Weston Johnston finally get caught for the first time stealing earlier this week, and he has had a really good year in stolen bases, 7 out of 8. So up and down the lineup, most of the guys can run, and that's what you want here at Duncan Field, particularly in the outfield, because you're going to have 3 center fielders out there who can scale all that ground. I know I had an interview with Brady Alexander, who is going to be our Sodbuster Spotlight later in the week. He said he loves playing outfield here because there is so much ground to cover, and loves chasing down those fly balls, and so it's really exciting for outfielders to come out and have a chance to make the plays out in the outfield. And if you've got slow outfielders, you are not going to win games here at Duncan Field.
No, you're not. And like you mentioned, having 3 center fielders at any time, and for the Sodbusters, they have guys who can play infield and outfield too. For example, Drew Vega, he's mainly a second baseman, but when they've needed him to play outfield, specifically when Brady Alexander had some shoulder or arm soreness and wasn't feeling the best, he had a couple of days off and then was used as a designated hitter. You slide in Drew Vega out there, and with the carousel guys leaving here in the second half, it's all business. Lots of guys, they come into the start of the season saying, all right, I can play until July this or the end of the first half, and then you have to find somebody for the second half. But it's just super cool to see who sticks around too, because it might be some of the guys that haven't seen a ton of playing time this summer. They're just here for the experience, and guys that have played every day that are here in it to win it. Of course, the professional opportunities arise for some people as well. So that's the super neat aspect of it too. And we're getting closer here. It's just about 7:35, and we're still yet to see the umpires on the field. But the stretch of 7 games in 7 days will hopefully conclude tomorrow, and we're just hopeful to get a game in here this evening. Sodbusters have Monday off, and then final 4 chances to see your Hastings Sodbusters Tuesday through Friday against the Nebraska Prospects before they go on that road for the Oahe Zap Series. And if Sodbusters do find themselves the winners of the second half somehow, whether they finish on top or if a Spearfish wins the second half, then they will play very shortly afterwards as well, because the postseason, they get a few days off, which will be a game on the 29th and the 30th, which would be here in Hastings, and then they would go on the road for the final 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in that 5-game Independence League playoff series. Round of applause, because you can see walking onto your screen now an umpire.
John Linden, yay! Thanks for spending your Saturday night with us, John.
You can have as much post-game food, and they'll buy you as many drinks as you want afterwards. So it looks like he is ready to go. And Brian Frew, he's
He's in his
shorts.
shorts.
A little casual for our field umpire today, but
they're matching. They're matching colors.
Not Plan A. So he's wearing the blacks, and Sodbusters in their black uniforms today as we are ready to play baseball. Let's tell you about the starting pitcher for Hastings today. It is Josh Nolte. He'll be a senior at Missouri Western, the Griffins. He had a 7.92 ERA in the spring, and he'll be making his third appearance for the Hastings Sodbusters. 0-1 with a 5.4 ERA in 3 1/3, allowing 2 runs on 3 hits. He struck out 2. He's walked 2. He last pitched on the 9th. Atawahi was the losing pitcher, went 2 1/3 innings, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits, struck out 2, and walked 3 while hitting 1. It was odd. You had Nolte and West, Josh West, the pair of Joshes, which joined the guys, the team pretty much at the same time. They both battle a little bit of arm soreness after early appearances, and I think they are both ready to go for the final week of the season, and we'll see how long Nolte can go. This is more of a bullpen game today, but get as much as you can out of Nolte as he'll be matched up against Wise for the Fremont Moo. Hastings defensively, Jude Greavves doing the catching. At first base, it's Tyler Welch. Second baseman, Drew Vega. At third, it's Joey Hecker. The shortstop, Chase Miller. And the outfield left to right, Brady Alexander, Jet Hannaford, and Luke Causy. Hope you enjoy Sodbuster Baseball as we are about an hour and 1 minute behind schedule as we get set to go. 7:37 officially, and the Fremont Moo in their orange uniforms today with the purple numbers. A little Florida Gator feel for Fremont, a team which has really dominated Hastings since Fremont came into existence. The Fremont Moo have had good seasons. They ended up going to the championship series last year, losing to Casper in 2023. They won the Independence League title, 3-2 over Casper. 2022, the last year of the old league, they went 35-22, won the second half and lost the championship to Western Nebraska 2-1 of the playoffs. So they have been good from the get-go. Their worst season was their first season in 2019 when they went 32-32. Since then, 34-20. They had a 41-23 season in 2021, and they pretty well controlled the Sodbusters. They'll send Carter Sintek to the plate today, and the first pitch is bounced to the left side, and this one charged by Miller. Throw to first in time. Better throw it fast. Carter Sintek, the Houston recruit, gunned down 6-3 of the first pitch, and Chase Miller able to throw out Carter Sintek.
And we recently caught up with Chase Miller and said that he is a guy that he'll play anywhere. He saw time at second, battling that ankle injury, but confident to say that he is the everyday starting shortstop now. Got some speed, and he's got the arm, able to throw that on the run.
Rocco Geritano is now at the plate now for the Fremont Moo. First time playing at Duncan Field for Rocco. 1 ball and no strikes, and he is out of Southern Union State Community College. He's from St. Petersburg, Florida, 273 since joining the Moo with 3 runs batted in and 4 runs scored. Takes a strike. He's playing in his 9th game for the Fremont Moo. Geritano did play against Hastings on the July 11th game in Fremont and went 0 for 4. Sodbusters won that day. Bouncing ball to the right side. Vega plays it well. Throw to first in time. Looks like Geritano can scoot a little bit as well, so you better be pretty sure-handed and not take too much time. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, nice because since Connor's doing our producing, we've got the Flight Scope computer right next to us. That pitch at 88.5 miles an hour. Man, Nolte's got some velo on the scoreboard. Our Flight Scope stats tonight brought to you by Eagle Distributing. But don't see too many guys get up to that velocity mark here at Duncan.
Maybe the guy that has thrown the fastest for the Sodbusters this year. Pitch taken for a strike. No balls and 1 strike on Cooper Fucino. He can play a little bit, batting .315, couple of home runs, triple, 12 doubles, 23 runs batted in, and 27 runs scored. Cooper Fucino. 0-1 delivery is missing for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cooper Fucino. Fucino, he's a Kraton guy from Rolling Hills Estates, California, returnee for this Fremont Moo squad. They've got some big-time players who played D1 ball. 1-0 delivery. And that pitch misses for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike on Cooper Fucino. Fucino hasn't really gotten it going against Hastings 3 out of 12, but he has a hit in every one of the games against the Sodbusters. No multi-hit games as of yet. .250 against the Sodbusters. 2-1 delivery on the way. Breaks low, 3 balls and a strike on Cooper Fucino. Fucino didn't play early in the season, didn't play the first 2 games against the Sodbusters, but has been in the lineup in every game since. Will do the catching on a regular basis, but at the first base bag today. 3-1 delivery on the way. Fastball is drilled to center field. Jet Hannaford did not get a good look at that one, and that will be over his head and off the wall. Fucino around second and will stay at second base. A 2-out double as Fucino scorches one into the center field area, and that had to carry about 400 feet.
That one was off the wall on the fly there. That one off the bottom of the bricks. Excuse me, Fucino rolls into second base as that one, according to FlightScope, 97 miles an hour off the bat.
And Jet Hannaford did not have a good look at it. I don't know if he gets a good look at it if he gets to that one. Runner at second base, 2 outs for Henry Heyman. Heyman trying to come through. He's a returning player from last year. He's an Akron Zip. 268's got a home run. He's doubled twice, knocked in 10, and scored 15 times since joining the Moo. Takes a first pitch strike, no balls, and 1 strike on Henry Heyman. 2 for 7 against the Sodbusters, including a multi-hit game. In the 4th meeting of the year, that was the July 4th game here that the Sodbusters won in 10, 7-6. 0-1 delivery on the way. And this one is popped foul. No balls and 2 strikes on Heyman. Sintek grounds out. Geritano grounds out. And Fucino doubles off the wall in center field. 408 to center, 405 to the alleys, 370 down the left field line, 367 right at spacious, historic Duncan Field. 0-2 pitch on the way. High in the air to center field. Jet Hannaford over, and actually I'm going to go out to short right field. It's Drew Vega retreating out there and making the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So pop up the short right field, and Drew Vega handles Henry Heyman. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We're to the bottom half of inning number 1. No score. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. FiskChiropracticSportsClinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Out of the bottom half of inning number 1, a game which started a little over an hour late due to an umpiring snafu. A big credit to John Linden, who was not supposed to umpire today, but he stepped up and was able to make his way here. We appreciate him coming. And Brian Frew, registered umpire, one of the ownership group here for the Hastings Sodbusters, and he is the field umpire, as we will see Tyler Wise take the hill for the Fremont Moo. Tyler Wise getting his opportunity. He's pitched 24 1/3 innings for the Fremont Moo. Wise making his 10th appearance, his 2nd start. He's allowed 23 runs, 15 of those earned. He's allowed 21 hits. He's struck out 25. He's walked 19, an ERA of 4.26 coming into this one, and opponents are hitting .233 against Tyler Wise. Wise, a product of Kansas Wesleyan University, NAIA school, the Coyotes, down in Salina, Kansas.
He's a guy that was pretty much a bullpen guy until 6 days ago, where they put him in as a start, so he'll be making back-to-back starts. And last out 6 days ago against the Prospects, 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So his walks and strikeouts rates are pretty about even, 19-25.
Drew Vega continues to climb the ladder in terms of batting average up to .262. He was sub-200 for a time this year and hitting .333 here at home now. Another multi-hit game yesterday. Went 3 for 5 against the Bison, and he takes one in the tail as he gets hit by a pitch for the 11th time this year. He trails only Jackson Crane for that category, and runner at first, nobody out for the Sodbusters, no score, bottom of the first. Here's Chase Miller for the Hastings Sodbusters. Miller has raised his batting average to .229, couple of doubles, 5 runs batted in, 13 runs scored, and he is coming off a 1-for-2 day when he had his second double of the year. An RBI and 3 runs scored as Hastings won that contest against the Bison, taking out a run rule victory 14-3. It takes strike one here. Wise will work out of the stretch exclusively. Runner at first, nobody out. Vega certainly a stolen base threat. Miller will take it at the letters for a strike quickly. 2 strikes on Miller as Drew Vega, more stolen bases yesterday, leads the team with 22 in 24 attempts. Jed Hannaford was giving him a run there for a while, but with Vega's recent hot streak, just getting on base a lot, and he is taking advantage. He will not go here, and the pitch is just missing. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chase Miller.
Pretty close, just a little bit high and outside, according to Flight Scope. And big velocity change for Wise, about 84 on the fastball and 69 on his off-speed, a 16-mile-an-hour differential.
1-2 pitch on the way, and that is outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chase Miller. Heard a recent Sodbuster spotlight from him. Walkerton, Indiana, his hometown. Went to John Glenn High School, so you know that school doesn't go back terribly long. The astronaut, 2-2 pitch, called a ball, and Vega takes off and steals the bag. So full count and Vega in scoring position. Another really close pitch taken by Chase Miller. Vega in scoring position with nobody out now.
So full count pitch. Got to be looking for something in the zone here. You know, Wise isn't trying to walk somebody. Looking for a pitch that Miller can hit.
Vega leads away from second base. No score, bottom of the first. The pitch way outside, and the Sodbusters will have first and second, nobody out for their 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up.
So Wise went with a curveball there. That one at 70 miles an hour. Not a competitive pitch at all, 3-2 count. We say competitive pitches as ones that are near or in the zone that will at least maybe get a hitter a chance to think about swinging at it. No one in their right mind would think about swinging at that.
Luke Causy, 283 on the year, 313 at home, however. A home run, a team best 5 triples. Got that 5th triple as part of the 1-for-2 day yesterday, and he swings and fouls the pitch away here. And that triple was pretty close to going out here at Duncan Field. A different wind situation, and maybe has his 2nd Duncan Field home run of the year. It's interesting with his power that he hasn't hit one away from home. No balls and a strike on Luke Causy. Runners at first and second. Big chance here with nobody out. Wise with the pitch. Causy lays down a bunt, but it's foul. Well, the umpire pointed fair momentarily, but it apparently did get a piece of Causy in the box, and it's 0-2.
Might have gone off his foot right there. Everybody not reacting to it right away, so that was obviously the case. But interesting to have the bunt sign on here with Causy, a very powerful hitter.
Now he's going to have to battle down 0-2, a righty-lefty matchup. Tyler Wise, the right-hander, checking the runners, and the pitch. Beauty, curveball, and Causy could not pull the trigger. Nice off-speeder there. Big first out for Fremont. 1 out, 2 on for Brady Alexander.
That was a curveball, and fortunately that Wise got away with that. That was a middle curveball according to our Flight Scope, one that lots of guys will be looking for 0-2, but Causy was looking for something else.
Brady Alexander has his batting average at .333 since joining the Sodbusters. He completed for the Plainsmen earlier. Throw back to second. Vega in standing up. Covering second base was Rob Hodges. It's a big chance here for Brady Alexander, who's swung the bat really well. Has had a lot of hard-hit balls that have turned into loud outs this week. 0-for-2 yesterday with a run scored against the Bison. Off speed, high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes on Brady Alexander. The sophomore to be at the University of Ohio. Played in the spring for the Bobcats. Had a couple of home runs in 18 games. Big Red Sox fan, also likes the Pirates since he's from Pennsylvania in the Pittsburgh area. Fouls this pitch away. Likes the Steelers in football. He's from Glenshaw, Pennsylvania, and played a lot of club and high school ball in the Pittsburgh area. 1 ball and 1 strike after the foul ball off the bat of Brady Alexander, making his left field debut today for the Hastings Sodbusters. Runners at first and second, 1 man out, no score in the first. And the pitch. Off speed, stays high and inside. Now 2-1 on Alexander, trying to find a pitch to hit and give the Sodbusters an early lead. They have won 4 out of 5 against the Moo. That has not happened during the history of these two franchises. Fremont has pretty well dominated every season series. Pitch fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brady Alexander. And for a time, you'd play Fremont 20 times in summer, and you thought, are we ever going to play anybody else but these guys? And, of course, now you're winning 80% of the games, only playing them 5 times. We want to play them more this year, but they will get 2 more cracks at them. And that's about, I think 7 is plenty. 2-2 pitch on the way. Hard hit ball, left field, that's a base hit. Sodbusters going to try to score the run from second. Here comes the throw. It's going to be cut off. It's an RBI single for Brady Alexander. Drew Vega scores the game's initial run. The Sodbusters will have runners at first and second, 1 man out, and a 1-0 lead in the bottom half of inning number 1.
Was a breaking ball at the upper third of the strike zone, and Alexander able to pull that into left field and didn't get it on the sweet spot, which I think is a good thing, because if he gets that, it's probably an easy line out to left field. Got it maybe off the inside of the bat, and it was able to drop in. Perfect piece of hitting.
Here's Cale Jensen, left-handed hitter up there against the right-hander Wise. Hastings still with a threat. Bouncing ball to the right side. It's going to be fielded by the first baseman. Steps on the bag. That's all they'll get. How about Cooper Fucino on the fly, on the short hop? If that gets by him, the Sodbusters score maybe 2. Tremendous play for Cooper Fucino. 2 outs in the inning and runners at second and third.
And I don't think the average fan appreciates that, how great of a play that is enough. That's basically you have to read that while you're full sprinting in and hope that the ball hops the way you think you're going to do it. Lots of factors in that, and Fucino, excellent play at first.
Tyler Welch trying to salvage the inning by getting 2 more home. Here's the pitch high and tight. 1 ball, no strikes. Tyler has raised his batting average in recent weeks. He's up to 185, a triple, 3 doubles, has knocked in 11 and scored 10 times. Had the game-winning sacrifice fly in a walk-off against Spearfish earlier this year. 1-0 delivery on the way. Bouncing ball to the left side, could be a tough play. Slow roller, fielded by the third baseman.
Uh-oh.
And
Welch is saying he hit it off of his foot, and I think they are going to call that a foul ball. I did look like it there because he punched it right into the ground, and it looked like the ball redirected from where the ball initially left off of his bat, and doesn't like there's going to be any argument, so an obvious happening there, because Welch would have ran if that didn't hit his foot.
Yep, he never ran. I was just watching the ball in anticipation of a potential tough play. Runners coming home. Here's the slide. Out. The Sodbusters trying to steal home with Chase Miller. Could not get it done, and that's the way the first inning comes to a close, as Hastings trying to steal home. They will get a run on 1 hit, and they leave 1. We head to inning number 2. And the Sodbusters lead it 1-0. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
At inning Inning number 2, Sodbusters getting a run home and a Brady Alexander RBI single to score Drew Vega, who was hit by the pitch. Fremont had a 2-out double, but nothing to show for that. The Sodbusters lead it 1-0 heading into the second. Really good first inning for Josh Nolte. 12 pitches in that inning, allowing just the one hit. Tyler Wise trying to match him, as Wise for the Fremont Moo threw 20 pitches with 11 of those strikes. The Sodbusters took advantage of a walk and a hit batsman to get that run home, and that's been vintage Sodbuster baseball. When they win, they find a way to be patient, get on, and manufacture runs.
Yeah, it's been legit wins, nothing that the other team just made so many mistakes that the Sodbusters barely win. The wins have been legit, and I think that's what the case has been, especially in the stretch of games here in the later half of the second half of the season. You have that disappointing first end of the half with the Plainsmen, and those couple of games against the Plainsmen where you fell in one of those games and didn't have the outcome you wanted in those. But Sodbusters appear to have their mojo back here, and looking for a good second inning from Josh Nolte.
Here's Timon Long, a North Dakota State product out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. First pitch swinging, and that's into left field for a base hit. Timon Long joining this team, a returnee, 316 on the year, a couple of home runs. He's knocked in 8, scored 13 times. He's played now in the third straight game against the Sodbusters and is now 3 for 11. Here comes Nate Wachter. Wachter's been on the roster since the beginning of the year, but only played in one of the Sodbuster games so far. That was the July 11th game. The Sodbusters won. He went 0 for 2, an RBI and a run scored for the season. 267, runner at first, nobody out, and the pitch. Wachter pops it foul as he tried to bunt, and this one carries clear up and over the press box. No balls on a strike on Nate Wachter. Wachter, South Dakota State guys, a Blair High School grad, exercise science major. So there's a lot of Division I guys on this Fremont team, and you almost wonder why they are only 20-22 with many more Division I guys than the Hastings Sodbusters. The pitch taken for a strike, no balls and 2 strikes. And that's a neat thing about the Summer League. You get D1 guys going against schools from smaller divisions, and they all come together for a common goal. And some ways, you see guys at the lower levels having their success just as much as the D1 guys. 0-2 pitch fouled away. Nate Wachter. Sodbusters had their share of good players from South Dakota State a year ago. No Coyotes on the roster this summer. It's fascinating year to year on the roster makeup. 0-2 pitch on the way. Bouncing ball to the left side. That's going to be fielded by the shortstop. Throw to second, and they'll get the out there. Good job, Chase Miller over to Drew Vega to get Timon Long. 6-4 on the putout. Wachter reaches on the fielder's choice.
Big baseball IQ play right there by Chase Miller. Knew he wasn't going to have the enough probably arm strength or time to get it over to first, as a Long didn't get to second quick enough, and making the throw away from your body. You're running away from the play. That's just can't put it into words how special that is to be able to make that.
Here's Joshua Hardiman batting .307. He's got some power. .307, a couple of triples, 3 home runs, and 38 runs batted in. They've picked him as the beer batter. Man, that's a pretty aggressive pick as the beer batter. Pretty good hitter for this Fremont team. And, well, it's quickly 2 strikes. So far, so good. Can you find a way to get strike 3 and, most importantly, get the second out of the inning? He's 4 for 18 against Hastings on the season. 4 hits in 4 different games. 0-2 delivery, swing and a miss. So, hallelujah, that's the right guy to pick as the beer batter, I guess.
Yeah, Hardiman, guys struck out now 29 times in 33 games. He does have those offensive stats, so if you look at his stats, only kind of a feast or famine guy, but Josh Nolte blows him away with 88 miles an hour.
2 outs in the inning, a big second out there, and that will bring to the plate Grant Ryan trying to salvage the inning for the Fremont Moo. Sodbusters on top by a score of 1-0, and the pitch is right there for strike 1. Ryan, out of Northeast Community College, the Hawks went 33-27. Former college teammate of Cale Jensen of the Hastings Sodbusters, soon to be an Illinois-Chicago player. Runner goes, a step off there and a run down. Nolte just runs him back to the bag, throws to Welch. Welch trying to run him to second, will make the throw. The tag applied, out. I'm not sure Wachter, he just started to take off to get a little running lead, and a great job for Nolte to not balk, and he played that perfectly in terms of running at the runner to eventually get Wachter in the rundown. So no runs, 1 hit, nobody left as Nolte faces the minimum in the second. Back for the bottom of inning number 2, Hastings 1, Moo nothing. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner. The bottom half of inning number 2, and Ryan Valenta's mean. He just showed me the radar. Rain is on the way. Let's get as many innings as you can here as the Sodbusters do lead at 1-0 heading the bottom half of inning number 2. Hastings getting a run home with a hit batsman, a stolen base, and an RBI single in the first. Each team had guys taken away on the bases in their last half innings, and we head to the bottom of the second inning with Welch, Greavves, and Hecker against Tyler Wise. Wise throwing 20 pitches in that first inning, a little bit of everything, allowing a run on a hit, a strikeout, a walk, and a hit batsman. Checking a lot of boxes there in the bingo card in the first, and here is Tyler Welch for the Hastings Sodbusters. Was at the plate when Chase Miller was caught trying to steal home. Pitch is outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes on Welch. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 run, 1 hit for Hastings. No runs, 2 hits for the Moo. 1-0 delivery. Off speed stays high, 2-0 on Tyler Welch. He's a Hastings College grad now. His 3rd year with the Sodbusters. Going to be headed back home to Arizona to join the real world. 2-0 delivery. Not that Nebraska's not the real world, but having to get out of college and go to work for a living, what's that all about?
Doing a job?
Yeah.
What?
I'm glad we do what we do.
I wonder what that's like.
Yeah, no fun to work for a living. 2-1 delivery. Oh, high and tight, and it gets a piece of Welch, I believe, or it hit his bat.
I thought it hit his bat.
He thinks it hit himself, and it did get a piece of him and not the bat. And I'm not sure exactly where it hit him, but that hurt. But he was a little stung there as he made his way down. It may have clicked off his shoulder.
It would have had to, like, clipped maybe the top or the back of his helmet, because it's, I mean, you heard a click sound as it hit something hard, did not like a part of the body of Tyler Welch, but, you know, John Linden, he got here late tonight. He got here, a guy that's just filling in tonight. Just go with what he says.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and
no arguing with him tonight.
We're gonna cheer for the umpire. He's rescuing us tonight, starting an hour late because there were no umpires here, and snafu with the league because this game has been on the schedule since day number 1, and I don't think they had either game this weekend on the master schedule because there was some confusion about tomorrow, according to Scott Galusha, but he didn't think about checking today. Jude Greavves is at the plate now. 1 ball and no strikes the count on Jude. He's another guy that's been raising his average here in the last week or so. And Greavves patient at the plate. He's up to 250 now. A couple of doubles. He's knocked in 6 and scored 16 times. Against Fremont, though, 0 for 5 during the 5 games so far. Off speed, curveball misses, 3-0 on Jude Greavves. And like you say, the love, the patience when Hastings finds a way to manufacture base runners. Welch aboard on the hit batsman, and Greavves on the verge of walking here. 3 balls and no strikes. Wise with the delivery. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. Jude Greavves, Metro Community College, Kansas City. He's from Oak Grove, Missouri. And really neat interview with him from Ryan Valenta. He's got some pretty neat stories still early in his life. 3-1 delivery. Bouncing ball to the left side. The third baseman's got it. The throw to second for one. Over to first, not in time. Fielder's choice grounder off the bat of Jude Greavves. Good decision there for Grant Ryan after seeing it come down throw it over to Rob Hodges, who really had no chance to double up Jude Greavves.
Yeah, just a little bit too soft of a bouncer. If that goes right to Ryan, probably a pretty easy 5-4-3 double play, but credit the third baseman for getting the lead runner here for the first out.
Here's Joey Hecker trying to come through. Guy's been swinging the bat pretty well, getting more regular playing time, and he's at .292, including .333 here at Duncan Field as he takes ball one. 1 ball and no strikes for the Pullman, Washington native, who is going to be playing ball at Washington State. He's got 4 runs batted in, including 2 yesterday, with 1 for 3 after having a multi-hit game on Wednesday with 2 runs batted in. Of course, one of those was the walk-off winner against the Bison, 6-5. 1 ball and 1 strike in the count on Joey Hecker for the Hastings Sodbusters. Runner at first, 1 out, 1-0. Hastings in inning number 2. Wise brings it home. Takes it low. 2-1 on Joey Hecker. Hecker, one of the guys who joined the Sodbusters late, but he is going to be staying until the end of the season, which regular season-wise will be Sunday the 27th. Pitch gets away, runner goes, throw down to second base. Greavves, good job there. Ball didn't get very far away from the catcher, time and long, but Hecker aggressive on the base paths, now 3-1, and Greavves in scoring position on the wild pitch.
Yeah, you read that right away there, and sometimes that's all you need is for a throw to get just a little, or a pitch to get just a little bit away, but time and long, a pretty good strike to second base, even though his first middle infielder that went to the base couldn't receive it.
And Greavves up and apparently okay. It looks like he's favoring his right leg. Scott Galusha started to go over, but Greavves says, I'm okay, and you worry about Jude because he's had so many health issues his first couple of years of college. Here's a bouncing ball, gets a piece of Hecker in the box, so it's 3 balls and 2 strikes on Joey Hecker. Runner in scoring position now for Joey, the freshman to be at Washington State, with Jet Hannaford waiting on deck. Hastings trying to put together their second run-scoring inning in a row in support of Josh Nolte, who gets the start today for the Hastings Sodbusters. 3-2 pitch coming. Curveball, and Hecker goes around there. A very good pitch for Tyler Wise, and Hecker could not lay off. He is out, number 2 in the second inning.
Yeah, another curveball for Wise there, and a beautiful one that had over a foot of horizontal break according to Flight Scope, which means that that ball likely starts at your maybe just above your thighs, and then it just falls off the table right there. A very irresistible pitches to most hitter. Hecker barely not able to hold up.
Here's Jet Hannaford, 275 on the year, but 304 here at Duncan Field. Couple of doubles for him. He's knocked in 8, scored 24 times, 6 multi-hit games, including a 3-hit game for Jet Hannaford. Takes this pitch way outside. 1 ball and no strikes, batting in the 9 spot. Jet Hannaford against the Bison. Did have a multi-hit game as he went 2 for 4. One of those contests. Game number 2 of the matchup. That was the unfortunate loss for Hastings. 1-0 delivery. Curveball's a beauty, right across for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. That second game, the middle game of the series, the one that you hopefully don't look back at the end of the year, said, yeah, if we would have got that one. But a 1-0 game after 6. Sodbusters led it 3-2 after 7 and lost 8-4. 1-1 pitch, fouled down the right field line. Not playable, 1-2, but Sodbusters put that game behind them and came out and bounced back with a vengeance. 5 in the first, 2 in the second, 5 in the third, 2 in the fourth. That was enough. 14-3, a 7-inning run rule win. And Kraton Jacobitz, more than enough for him, allowing 3 unearned runs. 1-2 pitch to Hannaford. Bouncing ball foul, stays 1-2 on Jet Hannaford. Visiting with him ahead of time, there's a family history of or I think it's actually a friend of his dad named Jet. And so that's where he got the name. It is officially Jet. That's not for Jethro or anything else. His name is Jet Hannaford. And it's cool that he's really fast. Destined to be fast. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there for Wise as he gets his second straight strikeout of the 8 and 9 hitters. And we head to the third inning. Hastings no runs on no hits and one man left. And we head to the third. Hastings 1, Fremont nothing. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Head of the third inning of a 1-0 game with Hastings on top of Fremont, and here is Ryan Valenta.
Thank you, Steve. We were hoping for a little bit more crisply played game tonight. Not quite the case, as we are now through 2 innings of play. We started right at about 7:35, so about 45 minutes past the first pitch start time, and it's the 1-0 Sodbuster lead, and it's Josh Nolte back out for his third inning of work right now for the Hastings Sodbusters, dealing with 8, 9, and 1. And the Sodbusters not the only team in Independence League action tonight. Casper is welcoming the Bison Baseball Club. That is a 7-2 game in the second inning. So they are putting up runs early up in Casper. Out in Spearfish, the Sasquatch and the Zap, a 0-0 game. That is in the second. The Prospects have the night off this evening. For Josh Nolte, it's Grant Ryan, Rob Hodges, and then the top of the order due up for the Fremont Moo, who they are pretty close to elimination from the second half contention. They are 10-9 coming into tonight, so they're 1 game above 500. Oahe 8 games above 500. So you got to figure that Fremont, if they somehow could miraculously win the second half, they are definitely going to need to start with a win tonight, and a probably wins out the rest of the season, if you had to guess. Grant Ryan for the Fremont Moo, ready to dig in for his first at-bat tonight. The infielder from Omaha at Northeast Community College. This will be game number 16 for him. And Josh Nolte shaves off the edge for strike 1. Fremont 34-22 last year, so with their loss against Oahe last night, they match their season total in losses last year. Again, they were the Independence League runner-up. Pitch swung on and missed. So we will have for sure a new 2 teams in the Independence League title game, because it was the Casper Spuds, the dominant team, that won that championship series 3-1. The 0-2 pitch, that one mishandled by Jude Greavves, and unfortunate it was, because according to Flight Scope, that pitch was right down the middle. But when you don't catch the ball, you're not going to get the call from the home plate umpire lots of the times. So Grant Ryan now with a 1-2 count. Josh Nolte's allowed a couple of base runners and a couple of hits, but the Moo yet to get on the scoreboard. Moo in their 42 games, averaging about 6.5 runs per game. The pretty even about where the Sodbusters are. Pitch downstairs. Fun fact, the Fremont Moo, their run differential entering tonight is 0. They have given up and allowed 272 runs on both sides of the baseball. Grant Ryan, the third baseman for the Moo, popped out of play, and the count remains 3-2. Ryan, in 15 games, a .289 hitter, 13 hits, a couple of doubles, 9 runs driven in. He's also a candidate to steal on the base pass.
Fremont's not the stealing team that the Sodbusters are. 50 stolen bases for them at a 79% rate. Payoff pitch, out of play again. Josh Nolte continues to go with the fastball that is continuing to sit at 88 miles an hour. Is that how fast they need to go in Back to the Future, 88 miles an hour before they can time travel?
I think that is exactly right. That's very impressive.
It's either that or 87. I think it's 88, though. Pitch, called a strike on the inside corner. Grant Ryan not too happy with the call, but it was right on the inside black at 81 miles an hour. So, yes, that is his off speed. Josh Nolte at 81.5 miles an hour. He freezes Ryan for his second strikeout.
Yeah, I mean, I want to keep him, this Nolte kid, and think of us for next year, Josh Nolte.
Just for collegiate level players, especially in this league, most guys are in the low 80s to high 70s. Josh Nolte in the upper 80s. We have seen a Sodbuster hit 90 maybe once or twice in the past couple of years. But Josh Nolte certainly bringing the velo here this summer. Pitch a strike on the bottom of the zone. This is Rob Hodges, the ninth hole hitter for the Fremont Moo. Rob Hodges out of another one of the Omaha guys and a NAIA school at Briar Cliff. Didn't play for them this spring, but in 14 games this summer. A .333 average, small sample size. He's only got 8 hits. Pitch outside, 3-1. This is his first game in 5 days, and he had an extended time off for multiple times in the middle of the season. From June the 22nd through July the 5th, he was not in action for the Fremont Moo. Hitters count for him, though. That's a ground ball through the left side, a base hit. On a 3-1 count, Rob Hodges goes the other way, and the third Fremont hit through their first 9 batters.
The good news is they've all come in different innings, and Nolte hoping to keep it that way with 1 on and 1 out. Nolte probably the most velocity except for Jacob Buldoin. I think he may have hit 88 up to almost 90 miles an hour as well for this Hastings Sodbuster team, and he's a lefty.
And Steve, you and I were catching up with him on the field last night, asked him any chance we see you before the end of the season, and said he was still up in the air, that his hand is kind of back to normal-ish, but he said at random times it still hurts. If you're not familiar, he was struck with a comebacker on the pitching hand several weeks ago and has not been able to pitch since, but he still comes out to the ballpark every night just to hang out and support the guys. So that's super neat, too. You know, if you're injured, you can go home. Say, you know, I'm going to go back home, don't have any reason to play. He's still here every night. Back to the top of the order, Chris Sintek, ground ball to Drew Vega at second base, goes for the tag, does get the tag, throw to first, punch him out, Brian Frew, double play, 4 unassisted, 3. The Sodbusters, they have been turning multiple double plays this week, and Drew Vega to Tyler Welch to complete the 2-outer to get the Sodbusters out of the 3rd inning with the Moo scoreless. 1-0 still your score. It is the Sodbusters coming up when we return.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood-bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
A dark evening here in Hastings. We were just alerted by our public address announcer and on-field guy Nathan Frew that rain is coming here in not too long, in about 15 to 20 minutes. So we're hoping to be able to play through it. So obviously the fans will have to take some sort of cover, but
unless it starts raining really hard or if there's lightning in the area. They said we're going to miss the heavy stuff. We know how that might go. And
famous last
words, yep. So the third inning starts off with the top of the order, Drew Vega against Tyler Wise, the Fremont pitcher. And the first pitch up high for ball one. And also neat as well, he's just off the left of your screen, but Corey Caranda has now taken over third base coaching duties from Scott Galusha, and Luke Ray is the player first base coach right now for the Hastings Sodbusters. Pitch looked pretty good, but called a ball. Like I was right at the bottom of the zone, but not good enough for John Linden. Corey Caranda, the assistant coach, who was a graduate assistant at Hastings College and wasn't able to, or is not going to return with the program this upcoming season. That's up the middle. Throw by the shortstop gets away, and Drew Vega is safe at first base. And what's Brian Frew calling it? Did it go in the dugouts? It looks like it went out of play, so Drew Vega will get second base.
Because it was going to be a pretty close play at first regardless. A long run there for Sintek, who threw across his body, and now the Sodbusters will have a runner in scoring position with nobody out as John Linden and Brian Frew will get together. They are going to see the head coach come out as well, the Fremont head man Connor McGonigal. That's one of those judgment calls. We saw it happen earlier this year about the situation on whether it got away. Just a few games ago about one that was to the dugout, and they are going to leave Vega at second base.
And the head coach, McGonigal, will get an explanation from John Linden, the home plate umpire. It's interesting. Obviously, we're obstructed in our viewpoint, but it looked like the catcher, Timon Long, who was backing up the play, was able to grab the ball and get it back. So it must have hit something in the dugout and then somehow ricocheted back out onto the field. So the scoring down goes as an E6, an error on Sintek, allowing Vega to reach. Might have been able to score that a base hit because who knows, he might beat the play anyway with a good throw. Chase Miller will try and drive him home. He'll line the single to left field. Vega will hit the bag and stop at third as the left fielder gets it to it quickly. Ball gets away from the cutoff man, and now Chase Miller takes an extra base at second.
Really good job for Chase Miller to take that extra base. The throw was a little bit low from Henry Heyman and mishandled by the cutoff man. So the Sodbusters 2 in scoring position, nobody out, looking to add to a 1-0 lead.
So as of right now, they're not going to give an error according to Game Changer on that, but that could change. Because that Chase Miller should not be at second base if the ball is received cleanly. And now Luke Causy will watch strike one at the knees go by. A breaking ball. It's been fastball and curveball according to our flight scope here. So kind of just a basic two-combo pitch mix for Tyler Wise. Fastball in the mid-80s. The curveball right there, a beauty, is in the low 70s. Causy out in front of it. And it's 0-2. Second and third with nobody out. Sodbusters would love to hopefully maybe get through 5 innings, make this an official game. And I don't know if they would make it up still, or because if games have to be called off then, they can be marked as official games if they complete just half of the innings, which is 5. Fremont obviously back tomorrow, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. 1-2, Causy fouls it off towards the Fremont dugouts, and the count remains the same. Luke Causy struck out in his first at-bat, but what a nice night he had in his return at Duncan Field. First game in 11 days, hit a bases-clearing triple to the wall in right field and also walked twice, but he'll strike out again for the second time, waving at that breaking ball at the bottom of the zone. That is the fourth strikeout for Tyler Wise.
He has not had a good look at Wise the first 2 times, and we'll see if Brady Alexander can move the runners along. Officials scoring on that previous play. Chase Miller a single and to second on the throw.
Could very well give an error on that. Not the case as of right now. Brady Alexander taking strike one. Brady Alexander had the RBI single in the first to get the Sodbusters their first and only run of the game. As we're here in the bottom of the third, pitch way high. Tyler Wise is a Bennington native, so he was a Badger in high school.
only saw one appearance for Kansas Wesleyan in the spring where he wasn't able to get an out in his only appearance before he gave up 4 runs. Grounded to third, backhanded, now caught in a rundown is Vega. Throw to the catcher, and they're going to have 2 guys hung up at third. Vega will be tagged out. And going to third, so good job by Chase Miller to get to third. So at least the Sodbusters trade places, but Vega went with that pitch, or the ground ball, which he probably should have stayed to third at.
Yeah, and it was to the third baseman, so may not have been able to get back. That's kind of caught in no man's land. Really good job for Ryan to come home and get the out. That's a pretty speedy runner. Sometimes those guys can play havoc, and now runners at the corners. Not out of total threat for the inning, though. Brady Alexander, you could turn him loose, see if you could find a way to steal a run here with still great speed on the bases.
Cale Jensen at bat. Apparently he doesn't like the bat that he had in his hand, so he will go out and get a new piece of lumber. Earlier this week, Cale Jensen broke his bat on a foul ball and had to go back and get a new piece of lumber. We saw a Sodbuster lose the bat in the stands last night. The lumber's cursed here this week, or maybe, but Sodbusters have only lost 1 game here this week, so it's been so far so good. Cale Jensen just foul down the first base line. Luke Ray wants nothing to do with it as it goes right by him. He's holding players' equipment, so he doesn't have very many hands to spare there. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Cale Jensen trying to add to the lead. He is 0 for 1. He grounded out to first in his first at-bat in the first. 70-mile-an-hour breaking ball well outside for ball 1. Jensen, a traditional pull hitter, tends to put the ball to the right side of the field where his at-bats or his stance goes to the right side as a lefty. Miller's at third, Alexander's at first. Breaking ball out of play, and even though it's really just been a 2-pitch mix, Sodbusters, they've gotten a couple of hard hit balls that, for the most part, Wise has kept them off balance. Jensen, the 5th batter to come to the plate this inning, the lefty with a 2-2 count here in the third. Check swing did not go on the ball in the turf, so the count will run full. That means Alexander will get a head start at first base. Sodbusters a .259 hitting team. Cale Jensen at .234. Guy who has better marks at home than on the road. The payoff pitch, that is foul towards the concession stance. Looking down at the concretes on the field level, there are some raindrops now, so the sprinkles have begun, but nobody is making a break for cover just yet. Wise with another 3-2 pitch to Cale Jensen. Almost hit him. It's inside for ball 4. So bases will be loaded with 2 outs, and here comes Tyler Welch.
Big chance for Tyler. Got hit by pitches last time up. Who's going to get the big 2-out hits? That could be who wins in a pretty even matchup between the Sodbusters and the Moo.
Welch had an opportunity to hit with runners in scoring position, had second and third, but that was before Chase Miller tried to steal home. So Welch came up next inning with the bases empty. He has been clutch over the past 3 seasons now plus. When the Sodbusters have needed him to provide a key hit, he seems to find himself on the stage the most often and been able to deliver. Line drive, though, is right at the second baseman. Had the right idea. The line drive a little bit off the end of the bat. Rob Hodges grabs it, and the Sodbusters will leave the bases loaded. It's still 1-0. We're through 3 at Duncan.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
So proud of the guys, just kept clawing, kept fighting back, and I'm beyond proud of them.
He sends a high fly ball to deep right center field. No one's going to catch that. It is going way back, and that is out of here for a home run. Luke Causy, a monster shot, clears the 405 sign. Our first home run at Duncan Field since 2023. Touch 'em all, Luke Causy.
Our fans recognize that, and they know that it's a family atmosphere at our place, and that's what we like.
1 run will score. Here comes a 2nd run home. Johnston digging for 3rd. He slides in, and the Sodbusters have a 3-0 lead as Weston Johnston scorches one over the head of Jake Daly.
All the credit to the guys in the dugout playing really, really hard, keeping it simple, throwing strikes on the mound, going right at kids, and then just keep it simple up at the plate. And all the credit to the guys for just busting their butts night in, night out.
Catch the spirit of the game.
Josh Nolte, 3 innings in the book, 37 pitches thrown so far for Nolte. So get set to go for this 4th inning.
Sorry, we pressed a wrong button there. We pressed the button right above the live button. So Sodbusters are now getting ready, or the Fremont Moo now getting ready to bat. Apologize for the error there. We were talking about how the Sodbusters are finishing up their season and how Duncan Field, even though it is not a football or not anything but a baseball field, they're actually high school teams use this as a football field in the fall. It's Ryan Valenta, it's Steve Stein, the top of the 4th inning. Rocco Giratano is the first to lead off. The lefty takes strike 1. Josh Nolte still working along pretty efficiently. Misses outside on that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Giratano grounded out to second base in his first at-bat. He is 0 for 1. Fremont with 3 hits, their first time through the lineup. That's a rocket shot into right field. A base hit, and the Moo will have their 4th hit of the game.
Giratano out of St. Petersburg, Florida, Southern Union State Community College, and first action here at Duncan Field for him.
Cooper Fucino, the next batter for the Fremont Moo. He had that wall ball double back in the first inning. Power met power there, and that you can confidently say on any other field it's probably a home run, but not at Duncan Field. Finds the inside part of the zone at 81 miles an hour. There is some rain that is starting to sprinkle the grounds now, and some fans have some umbrellas in the stands. Some have retreated for cover. That's pretty well hit to right. Luke Causy racing back, still back, makes the catch. The runner tagging at first base, advancing to second, and will get in there standing. Giratano takes the extra base, so Fucino technically a productive out.
And Fucino, he has hit 2 monster balls. He's such a clutch hitter. He had the game-tying RBI the July 4th game when the Sodbusters won in extra innings, and you're just happy when you can find a way to retire him.
That was 93 miles an hour off the bat right there. And due to the rain now, we're going to go and retrieve our flight scope machine down from the field of play. So, unfortunately, we will likely be without stats for most of the rest of the game. Line drive to short, caught. Henry Heyman hit it on the screws, but it was right at Chase Miller, who makes the catch just above the ground. 1 pitch for the second out.
Getting some pretty good swings now at Josh Nolte, and I wonder if his day is just about done. There's right-handed action behind him. We expected this to be a bullpen game, and I think if you find a way to get 4 shutout innings from Josh Nolte, you'll take that and turn to the next guy with the Sodbusters on top 1-0.
Looks like Braden Court getting ready in the bullpen for Hastings. So Fremont still with a runner in scoring position for Timon Long, who had a single back to lead off the second. Pitch just a bit inside, 1-0. But how about the pitching performance for Josh Nolte so far? Just his second appearance. It's already over in season highs, and innings pitched, but not over pitches thrown. Foul tip into the mitts of Jude Greavves, and Long with a 1-1 count. Timon Long out of Sioux Falls, headed to North Dakota State for the spring. This summer he's only appeared in 15 games, but if you count him in the qualified hitters, he technically leads the Moo in batting average. Shaves off the inside corner again, so that hard slider for Nolte, which has been sitting in the low 80s. That's just baffling. He's got an off-speed pitch at 80 miles an hour. You see that in the major leagues, not at this Independence League level in college. And Fremont has not been able to pick up on that. 1-2, got him swinging, strike 3. That is how the inning ends, and the Sodbusters are able to pitch around a leadoff single. 1 run, 1 left, nobody home. We're through 3.5 as the Sodbusters are coming up in the bottom of the 4th. As we will be right back. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Bottom of the 4th inning. Getting a little wet here at Duncan Field. We'll see how far we can progress for any potential delay. We're hoping that is not the case, but most of the fans have gone up into the concourse where there is some shielding from the precipitation here tonight. The Sodbusters trying to close out their 7-game homestand in 7 days. Of course, they just get a day off, and then they've got 4 more here at Duncan. But it is 1-0 here. So far, so good. Would love a few more runs in the run column. They struck for 14 last night, did the Sodbusters, and that was all through the first 4 innings of the contest. But just 1 run so far. Coming up for the Sodbusters, Jude Greavves set to lead things off. Checks his swing. They appeal down to first, and no swing. Jude Greavves, the 7-hole hitter for his 2nd time tonight. A fielder's choice ground out. He's 0 for 1. Tyler Wise out for inning number 4. That one not able to hold up on the curveball. And the count 1-1. Jude Greavves 0 for 5 against Fremont this season. The 1-1. Pitch downstairs. Greavves, the designated hitter last night, had a multi-hit game with a pair of singles in his first 2 at-bats. Base is empty, just starting off the bottom of the 4th. Ooh, looked like a pretty good breaking ball, but not called a strike. Tyler Wise takes a little bit of a longer look in, thinking that he should have gotten that call, and I don't blame him. So Jude Greavves now ahead 3-1 with nobody out. Laser beam into center field. Geritano, it hangs up for him. He makes the catch in center field. Jude Greavves hit it hard, but he is out number 1.
Well struck and we've seen some good outfield play by so many of the athletes in this Independence League, and you can include Rocco Geritano, who certainly should be added to our all-name Independence League baseball list.
Sounds Italian.
It certainly does.
Maybe tomorrow we'll go ask him.
And when you have Geritano and Fucino back-to-back, that may be the best back-to-back combo in terms of batters back-to-back that we've had name-wise.
That is pretty darn cool. Joey Hecker in the box. Quickly missing with 2 straight balls is Tyler Wise. Hecker 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the second. That one at the knees for strike one. Corey Caranda back out for his second inning as the third base coach. Scott Galusha told us that he was going to give Corey an opportunity. He wants to keep coaching somewhere. Where that may be in the future is still yet to be determined. But Corey Caranda, former graduate assistant at Hastings College, not going to be part of their team this year. He's always been the first base coach. Scott says as much as he loves to be in that third base coaching box, he's going to give it up for, we'll see how long that is tonight, and I believe we might have a chance to pick the brain of Corey Caranda for the first time tonight. Scott said that'll happen unless things go sideways. Well, what does that mean, Scott?
We'll find out.
Joey Hecker strikes out. Great breaking ball, and it has been great all night long for Tyler Wise. That one would have been ball 4, but Hecker is down on strikes for the second time.
No 1, 2, 3 innings for either side. That could change here unless Jet Hannaford finds a way on board.
Jet Hannaford also one of the strikeout victims for Wise tonight, who has punched out 5 now. Breaking ball fouled over to the Fremont dugout. 0-1. Wise already a little bit elevated in pitch count, even though it doesn't seem like he's been throwing that many pitches. That was already 72, and he has yet to complete 4 innings. Hannaford fouled back, and meanwhile on the other edge, or the other side of the coin, Josh Nolte through 4 innings has only thrown 47 pitches. Hannaford against Fremont this year is 0 for 6, so still looking for his first hit against the Moo. Wise looking for the shutdown inning, and he'll get it. Beautiful curveball again. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 4 strikeouts, number 6. Sodbusters go quietly the first 1, 2, 3 inning tonight. We are through 4, and the sky is starting to flash a little bit to the south. We'll see if that affects any game time, and we'll see right after this. We'll take a quick break.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Welcome back to Sodbuster Baseball as we're going to try and play a 5th inning. We do see some lightning out in the outfield, but
don't tell anybody.
Reverse. Scott's pointing it out. He'll be the first person to point it out, but it's not close enough, I guess, yet. So a new pitcher on the mound. Steve Stein will tell us more about Braden Cork.
And our pitching change brought to you by Joyride Pedal Company. Looking for a unique way to celebrate.
There's a big flash.
Sip and cruise through town. Joyride Pedal Company has the ultimate 14-passenger party bike. And here's the best part. You don't even have to pedal. Their bike has an electric assist, so you can relax and enjoy the ride while celebrating. Braden Cork completing his warm-up tosses. Right now we are still playing at this point. Braden Cork 2-2, a 4.70 ERA. And in making it his 8th appearance, 23 innings, he's allowed 13 runs, 12 of those earned. He has struck out 31 while walking 13, allowing 25 hits. He's hit 1, and opponents batting .269 against Braden Cork for the Hastings Sodbusters, as John Linden, our backup umpire today, coming in. At this point, it looks like we are going to play on. Did see another flash in hopefully the distance. We were going to get a look at Nate Wachter, right field, get things started off at the Fremont Moo. As Ryan Valenta earlier was talking about the pitch counts, well, one of the reasons that Josh Nolte was able to get through 4 innings with 47 pitches thrown. He didn't walk anybody, mainly pitched to contact, only struck out a couple. He did allow 4 hits. Here's a Bouncing ball back up the middle. It's going to be fielded by Vega. Throw to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out. Good start for Braden Cork. If you like to dream a little bit, get through the top of the 5th and hope it pours and it's an official game, we think. Although it's always such a gray area. Do you resume the game tomorrow? Is it an official game? Since these two teams do play again tomorrow, you could also do a suspension thing. As Joshua Hardiman steps to the plate, he is the beer batter and has already struck out once and takes strike 1 from Braden Cork. Gets his first look at the right-hander from Northeast Community College, who has made his college plans known. He's going to be going to Washburn University down in Kansas, part of the MIAA. It's in Topeka. He'll be an Ichabod.
I think they're called the Bods.
They do say bod sometimes, but I think Ichabod is cooler. And I don't know how much the imagination was, because it's named for Ichabod Washburn, so they are the Washburn Ichabods? Sure, why not? The whole marketing department didn't really think too hard on that. 1-2 pitch is, I say popped up, but that carries really well, and Luke Causy has to retreat toward the wall here at Duncan Field. How about the power of Joshua Hardiman? Didn't look like he got all of it at all, and still sends it about 350 feet.
Yeah, and looking at the flag plot in center field now, it is pretty still, so it is not blowing. The wind's not blowing in like it normally has been for the most of the week. So maybe a little bit extra feet on the fly balls tonight.
Here's Grant Ryan basically blowing right now from the left field corner to the right field corner. And this one spiked into the dirt from Braden Cork, trying to work a 1-2-3 inning. We haven't seen a 1-2-3 inning on the other side as well. As that's one thing about it. Nolte was able to scatter the 4 hits. There was a hit in every inning against him. But again, no walks, so able to minimize any kind of damage. It's still 1-0 Sodbusters here in the 5th inning as the pitch fouled away. As Grant Ryan up there now, he struck out his last time up. That came against Josh Nolte, who had an excellent 4 innings of work for the Hastings Sodbusters. Braden Cork, long reliever, kind of his specialty. Bouncing ball to the left side. Hecker, the third baseman's got it. Throw to first, low throw, dug out nicely there by Tyler Welch. And 1-2-3 go the Fremont Moo in the 5th. Way to the bottom half of inning number 5. It's still 1-0 Hastings. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Well, it's raining pretty good as we will try to head to the bottom of the 5th, but John Linden has looked up here and did make some sort of gesture, and I have no clue what that gesture meant. It looks like we are going to maybe have a little pause while they look at the radar as the Sodbusters will have the top of the order coming up against Tyler Wise. Wise completing his warm-up pitches. We continue to see flashes of lightning, but theoretically not close enough to stop play now, but the rain may stop play. And these two teams are used to that. We sat through 2 rain delays and a power outage on July 4th in a game we thought would never end, but the good news was the Sodbusters did win on July 4th, 7-6 in 10 innings. This has kind of got that feel today. As that day you had the delay for the no power for a while when the lights went out. Today, no umpires for the first hour, so we have had some wacky things happen.
And here come the players off the field, so it looks like we are entering some sort of delay. We will see, because, I mean, this rain is coming down. There's no way that they can play right now. And we thought, maybe the Sodbusters are trying to get their top of the 5th inning to make it a complete game and then call it because of lightning. No, this rain is coming down. There is no way that they can play.
Yeah, it's
so
pouring.
We're going to look to see what update we get, if there is going to be a delay or if there is a continuation of the game, because Looking at the radar myself, there's a pretty big cell heading across the region. It doesn't look like the heavy stuff, but I mean, this is kind of heavy right now.
Yeah, it's for not heavy. I don't think I'd want to be out there.
They said they were going to miss the heavy stuff, but
I wouldn't want to see the heavy stuff. Well, that was the thing about July 4th too. We got the initial report that said, "Now you're just going to get some real low-level rain," and it just flat poured. And now we've seen lightning, so there's certainly it's going to be at least a half hour before we resume. And again, we've already been waiting an hour. We're in the 5th inning. I'm politicking. The two teams play tomorrow. Send them home. Let's start at 4 tomorrow afternoon and finish it. But that is not my call because I'm just the broadcaster here. So visit a little bit about this one so far. What has happened? Well, if you missed the early part of this game, you missed it. If you were here at 6:35, you were wondering where is baseball, and we were wondering where was the umpires. This game and tomorrow's game, for whatever reason, did not make the master schedule for the IBL, so consequently there were no umpires assigned. They figured it out for tomorrow but didn't know about today until basically 6:15. And so we had an hour delay. And John Linden, hallelujah for him. He's a semi-local guy and canceled his Saturday plans and was able to make it here. So we appreciate the opportunity for John to come, and I'm sure he's really excited about now having to wait at least another half hour before going back out there. Brian Frew, who is a registered umpire, the co-owner for the Hastings Sodbusters, he consented to be the field umpires. So we got our backup umpires, but didn't start basically till an hour late, and we were told that when the game began that we would have rain about 9 o'clock. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 8:51, and we are in rain delay mode. If we would have started at 6:30, the way this game's going, we may have been pretty close to being done. But instead, we just got through the top of the 5th when it really let loose, and we're in weather delay mode. When the game began, Drew Vega hit by a pitch, Chase Miller walked, a strikeout to Luke Causy, and then Brady Alexander with the RBI single. Sodbusters had a decent chance in the second. A hit batsman, fielder's choice grounder, but a pair of strikeouts at the bottom of the order. Hastings had another decent chance in the 3rd inning. Top of the order, an error, a single, a strikeout, and then a big play, a bouncing ball to the 3rd baseman. Sodbusters got their 3rd base runner caught in a rundown. Drew Vega eliminated. But then they had Cale Jensen hit by a pitch, so had the bases loaded. Tyler Welch, a little line drive, but couldn't get enough on it to get it over the second baseman's head. Rob Hodges made a nice play. That ended that threat. Then the Sodbusters very quiet in their half of the 4th inning, 1-2-3 against Tyler Wise. Wise working his way through the first 4, throwing 74 pitches, striking out 6, walking 2, and hitting 2. Meanwhile, Josh Nolte doing a really nice job of avoiding the big inning. He allowed a 2-out double in the first, a leadoff single, but the Sodbusters got a double play in that 2nd inning to end the threat. And then in the 3rd inning, actually the 2nd inning, they actually got a pickoff. They had the single, a fielder's choice grounder, and then Nate Wachter took off for second base and was caught in a rundown, 1-3-4 on the putout after a strikeout of Hardiman. So they faced the minimum there in the 2nd inning. In the 3rd, a strikeout, a single, but then a 4-3 double play to end that frame. And then in the 4th inning, a leadoff single, but Nolte able to get a fly out, a line out, and a strikeout to end that threat. That ended his day, as he's been more of a relief kind of guy, but certainly a tremendous outing for him as he goes 4 complete, 47 pitches thrown. That also allows him pitching under 50 pitches. He would only have to have 1 day of rest, so could come back here in a couple of days for the Hastings Sodbusters, although they'll have Monday off anyway. But he'll be full go for the Nebraska series, which begins on Tuesday. And then Braden Cork, a very efficient 5th inning as he sat him down 1-2-3, a ground out, a pop-up, and a ground out as Braden Cork threw just 8 pitches to retire 3, and literally almost as the Sodbusters are coming off the field, the skies opened up, and that's where we stand. Hastings 1, Fremont nothing as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning in at least 30 minutes.
Sometime. Yeah, we're looking to see if this is a delay right now or because, I mean, the radar that's got patches in it, so the Looks like the Scott Galusha and then the Fremont, one of the members of the Fremont coaching staff are in the booth right next to us, so they're probably discussing what they want to do. And Steve, I'm all on board with your idea as well. Maybe just if it's not going to get any better, it's already 9 p.m. This game, if it gets going after 30 minutes here, this rain delay, it's going to be here till at least 11, if not later. And a lot of fans probably aren't going to be sticking around, so say probably cut the rest of your losses tonight and then maybe get going a little bit earlier tomorrow to have some extended baseball on what we hope to be a better Sunday afternoon. But the Sodbusters, they've had their chances tonight. They've had it technically be an official game with 5 innings according to Major League rules, but since Fremont is here tomorrow, who knows what they're going to do. We've got the council next to us right now, so they are deciding the fates of this ball game for the rest of the way. We'll just have to see. The rain has eased up a little bit, so you probably can't tell very much on the camera, but it is not coming down with the amount of authority that it was just a few moments ago. But right now the temperatures in the area have gone down to 79, and the rain in full effect. Looking at the radar, too, there's kind of a little bit of a smaller green cell. Hastings is right in the north edge of it, and then there's a clear spot out to the west. The storm is moving from the west to the east. Holdridge and Minden, which are about 35 to 50 miles respectively out to the west, they're getting hammered with some heavy, severe weather right now, a red and a yellow cell. But the storm moving approximately 15-ish miles an hour. That's how much the winds are going, so the storm might be moving a little bit faster. But all you can do is just hope that they're able to find a conclusion that works for both teams too, because this isn't fun for everybody, especially with the delay to already start things off. And lightning in the area, even if it does stop raining too, with the lightning in the area, you probably can't start the game until 30 minutes after the lightning is gone. And if there is a time to do that, and it might get a little bit late. So we'll just have to see what the decision by the ownership group and the umpires and the players are for the rest of tonight.
And if you said stuff in Holdridge, stuff in Minden, I mean, that's right in line. You know, we're going to be battling this for the next 2 hours if it keeps heading that direction. So it's certainly not looking good from where we're sitting right now. Here we go. Let's take it to Scott Galusha.
Connor, the weather service tells us there's a chance to play baseball in about 30 minutes, depending on what builds behind it. Right now, there's nothing, so we're going to wait 30 minutes, and then we're going to make another decision at 9:25. So in the meantime, you can have dollar off drinks at the upper bar, courtesy of Trevor. I got to make Trevor Summon's friend because he has no other friends.
So again, Scott Galusha making the announcement that they are going to wait another 30 minutes before making their next determination. And it was hilarious as Scott was making the announcement. You heard someone yell, "What about the beer?" And so Scott did say that $1 off. Let's go down. They have another announcement now. But so that's what we know for now. They are going to wait a half hour. And the radar they saw apparently looks different than the radar we saw. But they're going to wait a half hour. Scott Galusha is going to update us here in his own words, and we're going to politic for something different. But okay, go ahead, Scott.
Well, first of all,
and then we'll tell you what we think.
No, well, first of all, we would love. It's a legal game, right? So
yes, can't wait.
And the greatest thing in the world would be, hey, it just gets awful and we don't get to play baseball.
Yeah.
But that's not what we want to do in the integrity of the game. So I talked to Connor, and we were both sitting in a booth over there next to us with the National Weather Service on speaker. And as of everybody's looking at their phone saying it's not gonna stop raining. Well, that's all amateur people. I don't even look at my phone. I call the people that do this, and they are wonderful. And right now they said this shouldn't last any more than about 20 or 25 more minutes, and pending on how it builds behind will let us know if we have a chance to play or not.
What about lightning, though? That's the thing.
Actually, you guys, everybody's seen lightning all around, right?
Sure.
Okay, there was the only time anything was inside of our range was when I was sitting up in the booth here after the fact.
Okay.
And they told me that the first lightning inside of 10 miles was at 8:47.
Okay.
Okay. So that was, and again, Corey was coaching because, one, I wanted Corey to coach, but two, I was on the phone with the weather service.
Sure.
And again, those people are so wonderful up there. And I'm tired of giving them compliments because I've met them all, and I'm not sure they're – no, I'm just kidding. I know they're listening, and I'm sure they love this. But they've been really good. So we're going to wait 30 minutes. I mean, we want the integrity of the game to be right. So we're going to make every opportunity we can to finish baseball tonight. We're going to do that. We owe that to everybody here and the Moo and everybody else. It's a one-run game. Thankfully, we got that last out. But we're going to wait until 9:25. Connor and I, at that point, will get the weather service on again up in press box 1, and then we'll make a decision at that point.
What is the official rule? Because, I mean, there's also been suspended games. I mean, since this is through 4.5, they're playing here tomorrow. Do you have a gentleman's agreement of resuming the game, or since is it either going to be the game is over or we resume it, there's no chance to have a suspended game and start it again tomorrow since it is an official game? What's the official league rules? Because in the majors, this would be an official game. Is there different rules in the ILB?
We play NCAA rules.
Okay.
So by rule, this can be an official game.
Okay.
And again, I just want. I mean, we would love to win and go home right now, right?
Yeah.
But I think I owe that to Chad Miller and the Moo to make every effort to play the game.
Sure.
But I don't believe we will suspend this game if we're unable to play.
So if it ends today, it is a win.
It will
if
be.
we can't get going again, there wouldn't be any kind of resumption. Okay.
Yep, that's what the plan is.
Okay.
That's what the plan is right now. But we're going to make. I mean, again, it's just the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do everything we can to see if we can play baseball. I mean, it's already hardly raining, and so we'll just have to see what's building in the Southwest. And I know both you guys have your phone out there, and everybody's looking at it, and everybody told me that we're never going to play. And guess what? It's already stopped raining. And I just really trust. I just put my faith in the people over there, and they've steered me right the whole way. And again, every time we get a lightning in the area, we'll have to go 30 more minutes, and that'll play a part in this as well.
Yep.
But as of right now, we're going to make another decision at 9:25, and then we're going to go from there. But as far as I know, this will be a official game if we can't play.
Okay.
And we're going to make every effort to try to finish it if we can, and we'll go from there. And if that changes, I'll let you know.
Scott Galusha, how many weird decisions have you had to make today?
How are you doing tonight, Steve?
and I'll tell you, and I was just thinking about just the last 2 Fremont home games. Because July 4th, for folks who don't remember, and you remember vividly, 2 weather delays. And now that day, the weather service said, it's going to be all just light stuff. And
bang.
I mean, it just poured. We had an 8-minute weather delay because it poured so long, or poured so hard.
Yes.
And then we started again and had another, 45-minute delay. And then we
got baseball. Yeah.
And then we had the lights go out at 8:30 that night. So Fremont has seen 3 weather delays, an umpire delay, and a lightage outing in their last 2 trips here. They're thinking, I am never coming back to this place.
Well, the one thing they're happy about is we have brisket tonight, so they should be pretty happy. One way or the other, they're going to get fed well. And I hope my parents and my family's watching, and especially my wife. You would be so proud of me today that I haven't lost my temper once. I haven't raised my voice once. There's so many things that have gone absolutely bass-ackwards today.
You poor guy.
But again, we have a great staff here, and we have a great group of people that help us try to get baseball going on. And there's a heck of a lot of people that are waiting up under these awnings, hoping that we play more baseball. And really, I hope we get to, just because I think that's the best thing to do for baseball.
Sure.
But that worked out pretty well for us. If it doesn't, but a really good, well-played game today.
Yeah.
We didn't take advantage of a couple opportunities, which hopefully won't come back to get us. But Fremont, we weren't sure how they were going to come out and play, but I think we know that that's very good competitive team and guys with a lot of heart. So.
And they got some dudes, and then for them to come from Pierre and to have the intestinal fortitude to come out and perform like they are so far.
Yep.
But how about Josh Nolte? I think, it was going to be a quote-unquote bullpen game, but 4 innings, 4 hits allowed, working his way out of some jams, and only 47 pitches thrown. So not all you can ask from that, right?
Absolutely. Josh and I were talking about it, I mean, Josh is used to starting, but he had a little shoulder problem after he threw a couple times for us early, and so he's had quite a few days off. So he was really excited to get back out there, and he was really good.
Yep.
But we were hoping for 3, and he felt like Mikey wanted to go 4, and then so the plan was once we Josh and I figured that out, we had Cork ready to go. And so hopefully this delay won't be too long where we can keep Cork going. If not, we'll use him tomorrow, and then we'll probably go to Spencer Schmidt if we have to go to somebody else tonight, depending on what happens.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I don't know the mechanics of warming up and then cooling down. I mean, officially, Braden threw only 8 pitches in the game, but he had his warm-up pitches ahead of time. How long is too long to bring him back tonight?
You know what? That's all personal to the kid. I mean, what we're going to do, if we figure out that we are going to get a play and there's some more lightning, but I think that's quite a ways away. But anyway, it's kind of a personal thing. So what we're going to do is once we figure out what's going to happen one way or the other, and I can give him some sort of
approximate
time.
If
and then
nothing else happens, we'll pitch it this time.
Yeah, but at this point, who knows what might happen. But I'm glad you brought up the lights because the lights are going off at 10:30. So as soon as I'm talking to you,
I
better make that phone call.
Keep them on till midnight, please.
And I'm so happy. Get Josh is at his wedding, so he's probably not watching this.
Yeah, I know.
But I was happy that I got a chance to be out there because it's really my happy spot. But I don't know what else could go differently or sideways today.
Shouldn't have said that.
But we could. But, we always got to see something we've never seen before. And so I'm pretty sure we got 2 or 3 more of those things coming pretty quick.
Umpire Brian Frew has entered the building. There's something we didn't expect to see when the day began. So.
And I don't know if you heard me talk on the mic earlier. One of my friends called me and said, "What's the chances that Brian tosses you out today?" And I just giggled at him. So he's had some challenging calls too, but he's done a good job. And, that's something that I'm really proud of, just our group. But that's a lot of integrity for somebody. Brian, he's hoping to come out here and just watch the game with his family.
Yeah.
And now I tell him to change, give him a new hat, tell him to wear his brother's sweaty shirt and get out there and umpire. And he did it. And he's done a good job, and he's had some challenging calls. But Brian loves baseball, and we just try to do whatever we can. And unfortunately, not everything went as smoothly as we would like today, but so far so good, and we'll just see what the next 30 minutes bring.
Scott, probably got 3 other things to do, so thanks for coming up and give us the update, and we will we'll keep on keeping on.
All right, thanks, guys.
Scott Galusha, owner, general manager. Frew, you got to talk to Scott, or you want to be on the radio? So, okay, I was going to say, we get Frew on, get the umpire's perspective. That would be something new for the weather delay. That generally doesn't happen, as Ryan Valenta going to be joining us again very shortly. The Hastings Sodbusters are in weather delay mode, and as Scott mentioned, it just poured for 10 minutes, but we're at Duncan Field, so and once it stops raining, you literally can play in the rain here at Duncan Field, but not in the kind of rain we were getting earlier. And it was great to hear his perspective on the lightning, because to me, okay, you see the lightning, it looks like a big lightning bolt, but the National Weather Service says it wasn't in the region, so that does not start the next 30-minute clock. And so you get that official word from the National Weather Service instead of people like me who think, well, okay, there's another 30 minutes. So.
Well, in the Hastings Parks and Rec department, they maintain this field all the time, and the drainage systems that they have, especially with the turf infield, it slants downwards in from foul territory out to the sides, so the field does drain very well. It'll obviously be wet whenever we do start this game again, if we do start it tonight, but the drainage system will help a lot. The rain has it's picked up a little bit again now here. You can see it falling just a little bit more handily than it did, but lightning flashes, like you mentioned, it looks like it's almost right on us, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we don't hear the thunders, so it's got to be a ways away.
Yeah, light travels a lot farther than sound does, so yeah, if you hear thunder, which we have heard a few rumbles of thunder, no claps of thunder here, so that means that the Duncan Field area is out of it for the most part, but then again, the radar here, and we don't want to be a self-meteorologist because, like Scott said, there is a National Weather Service office in Hastings they've got the big bucks to have all of their official radar equipment to see exactly how the storm is moving and where it will progress. And there is a lot of heavy stuff south of the area, and it's now moving to, looks like just south of Minden too, so heck, this heavy stuff, like Scott said, might indeed miss Hastings, and so there will be likely some more rain as it is right now, but maybe the thunderstorms will hopefully miss the field. But yeah, it's 9:09 right now, so the next decision
already just in about 15 minutes as they will decide. So we'll see how that happens, because they said that they're not going to suspend it. So that means that we're not going to resume the game tomorrow. So this is either an official Sodbuster 1-0 win, or it is going to be played and will likely be here till at least past 11. And you heard Scott, because we don't want to rehab of the lights going off here as the 3-2 pitch with the final pitch. The lights go out. That would be nothing short of bizarre. Mm-hmm. But I go back, an example like that. Obviously, it's happened here, but the kind of an infamous, internet famous, notorious minor or independent league baseball team, the Portland Pickles. They play up in, obviously, Portland, Oregon, and they play in a city park as well that is organized by the city. So they're just very popular because of their mascot, the Pickles. They run a great social media campaign as well. That happened to them as well, where they were playing too late at the city park, and it was said that, it's too late and we can't get the city to turn it back on. So,
hey, and Scott Galusha has come back, and we will get our crowd mic out. And what's the word, Scott?
Okay, so what we are going to do is, since we do play Fremont tomorrow, we're going to make a decision here pretty quick. And we are going to suspend the game since we do play Fremont again tomorrow. Now, if this was Sunday and we didn't play Fremont again, then we would just call it'd be a legal game. But we just think that the integrity of the sport is the best way to do it, which means since they're going to be here anyway, if we do call it, we'll suspend it and pick it up in the bottom of the 5th inning tomorrow if we make that decision. I'm going to talk to Connor here in a few minutes, and I'll let you know.
All right, we appreciate that, Scott Galusha, the latest update. So take away what we just said in terms of it being a complete game, and I think that's the right move. I think, again, for everybody's sake, if it were the last game of the series, if it were last game of the season, then, you maybe don't do it. But since the way I understand it, Fremont actually stays here, so you could resume the game at 4 and make sure you get it done and then still get that second game going at a good time. And so that would be plan A. And I don't know about you. I'm an old guy. You're young, Brian. I'm sure you're ready to stay up till midnight announcing baseball today. But I certainly would be okay coming back mid-afternoon and resuming. We'll have to see how it all works out, especially now. It stopped basically now. Moments ago, as you were visiting, we were talking about maybe playing in the rain, and it's lightened up a lot, but I don't know. I mean, that what we were having 5 minutes ago, you can't play in that, can you? I mean, that was too heavy to be playing through, I would think.
And it's even died down from last time I said that, too. It seems like it's somebody just messing with like a light switch up in the sky, off and on, heavy light. But I going back to the point of the suspension of the game, That's what I was thinking would happen right at the start, because that's the right move. These guys don't get all of this. They don't travel across the country to just get their game shortened by a little bit of wetness or rain. If it's feasibly possible, like you mentioned, if they're going off to Pierre tomorrow, there's no way that we can make it up. So complete the game, and it's a rivalry game too. If Sodbusters and Fremont Moo, it's always a fun game between the two. So I would also opt for the suspension too, because the decision right now it just depends on the lightning too. We keep seeing over to the left side of the screen that is out pointing to the east, which the heavy stuff seems to be to the south, which would be to the right, or to the left is the east. So as long as the lightning stays away at this level that it's raining, where it's just kind of light dusting down, I think that they could definitely restart the game in that sort of weather. But, just depending on how many fans are going to stick around, too. They're enjoying the upper deck bar right now. We've seen some fans walk out and going to hopefully catch the next game tomorrow. But Scott, they always take great care of the fans. So likely if you left tonight's game and you want to come back tomorrow, I'm sure a call to the office wouldn't hurt and say if I can use my ticket to get back in, the answer would likely be yes. But you want to make a decision soon because it is getting late, about 9:15. And like I mentioned, if we do continue this game, it does start quite late and will end quite late.
Now, eerily similar, well, I don't know if we'd call it similar, but as many wacky things has happened today as did on July 4th. And I know that was a day that Ryan had a scheduled day off, so he didn't get a chance to experience the contest. That we actually were supposed to start and did start early for a couple of different reasons. It was July 4th, so they were going to start a 4:30 game. But again, the weather delay basically almost put us back to where we were. Then we played 2 hours of baseball, and then at 8:30 in the evening, the lights went out. And you were half joking about, 3 balls, 2 strikes, oh no, the lights go out. Actually, in the contest, if you weren't with us, the bases were loaded, 2 outs, an 0-2 count, the lights go out. Graham Hilton was at the plate, and he had been pretty well dominated in the first 2 pitches of his at-bat by Joe Hauser. The lights go out, and you're thinking, okay, it was almost light enough still that you probably could have played, but then, okay, so what if a ball gets away, and what if something wacky happens? So you pretty much had to stop it. They made the call right away, but these lights, once they're shut off, they have a reset sequence, and it takes 20 minutes for it to get back into full lighting mode. So in probably one of the longest at-bats, time-wise, in the history of baseball, Graham Hilton had to wait to get his next pitch. And for that matter, Joe Hauser had to wait to make his next pitch. Graham Hilton then proceeded to foul off a couple of pitches, gets a ball, fouls off another pitch, eventually gets to 3-2 and draws the bases loaded walk-off walk that, like I say, took about a half hour to finally complete. And the Sodbusters ended up walking it off after that 20-minute delay in one of the more bizarre games you were ever going to see in so many different ways, with 2 weather delays and the lighting outage that turns into a 10-inning Hastings Sodbuster victory.
Yeah, I just pulled that up on YouTube there, and yeah, he's on the mound, and then right he's about to pitch. It's almost like he knows it's coming. He steps off, and then the lights go out. Obviously, maybe you could have kept going in that game, but for the reasons you very mentioned, you don't want to risk the safety of the players. And this one, if the lights go out, no deal.
We're done.
We are pitch black, and unless we've got glowing, if we've got UV lights and glowing balls and bats and such, I've actually seen some videos on social media. There are some glow-in-the-dark leagues that are trying to form where the players, the lights are UV lights on the field, and the ball is illuminated in purple. The bats are illuminated in purple. The bases are too. So it's more of an entertainment league right now. Obviously, like the Savannah
Banana Ball.
Little bit lesser of a scale than Banana Ball too. But yeah, no way that the lights go out tonight, then we would be able to play. But the rain is, like I said, it just keeps dwindling and dwindling. The radar shows right now it's almost like the eye of the storm right now. We're in the little bit middle of the clearing spot. There is more cells out to the west, which are slowly moving this way. It's also moving a little bit southeast, so it might scoot underneath Hastings depending on what happens. But right now as we speak, Scott and Connor McGonigal are in the booth next to us, so they are making a decision right now, and I've got to feel like it is either we're going to start up play now or we are going to just suspend the game. I don't think it would be in their best interest to keep delaying the game and hope that we might play it, just because that it is getting late and it is feasible to play games tomorrow. We hope at least. There also could be some behind-the-scenes things that might not make it. Obviously, we sit up here. We don't deal with the behind-the-scenes type of deal, so there could be something that's maybe preventing them from starting early tomorrow, but that would be in our wheelhouse. We would be okay with that.
We got one thing. Will there be umpires to be here
good question.
Game time? And can we get umpires here at 4 o'clock? So I would think that the ILB would be more than accommodating because that was not a Hastings Sodbuster thing today, and it was just, it's you hate it for everybody involved, but somehow these 2 Fremont games did not get on the master ILB schedule because the Hastings Sodbusters have had these games on since the beginning of the year, and they realized something was amiss about tomorrow but didn't realize that it wasn't on the schedule for today, and so consequently that's the reason we had no umpires. And I think they've got to assign for tomorrow, and that could be one of the calls they're making. Hey, can you guys be here at 4 o'clock tomorrow? Okay, let's resume if it indeed is 4 o'clock. maybe a little bit later. I don't know. You've got, if they want a 6:35 game, you hope that it continues moving crisply. We're 1-0 in the bottom of the fifth, but this is one of those that could certainly turn into a 10-9 game. You never know how it's going to be once you get into the bullpens, but we hope that that the decision's forthcoming soon, so we can let you know one way or the other as we are now. Let's see. We started at 6:10. We are now 3 hours and 9 minutes into our stream and have played 4.5 innings, 5.5 innings of baseball.
So we're halfway through the game.
4.5 innings. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Most of the time we're doing our pregame show right now. We see McGonigal. He's going down the steps, so Scott might be coming in to chat with us here momentarily. But looking at the other Independence League games while we're at it, too, at a break, it is Spearfish over Oahe, 6-3 right now. That is in the 5th inning. And the Spuds they're hammering down on the Bison.
Scott's talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to suspend tonight's game. Unfortunately, we just think there's too much going on to make it safe for you guys as well as the players. So since Fremont is still going to be in town tomorrow, we will pick up the game right where we left off, tentatively at 5 o'clock. I say tentatively, so please, if that changes, we will make announcements via social media and everywhere else we can make those calls. But again, we are going to suspend tonight's game until tomorrow. That game, as of right now, we are planning on starting it at 5 o'clock. Everybody who is here tonight, please welcome to come back tomorrow, and please get your butt here. It was a nice night, a good game. Get back out here and cheer on the Busters. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Scott Galusha. It does work much better when you put that. That was a lot louder when you put that microphone outside. Ryan Valenta, good job there. I'd forgotten we brought the mic in to hear from Scott. So, well, that's what we know right now. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the stream because, well, we don't have a game wrap to do, and we'll just pick up right where we left off at 5 o'clock. Scott, we just put your announcement on, so if you don't need to, yes, so we've got it. So 5 o'clock we'll be on the air about 4:40 tomorrow, unless if there's any updates, check out Hastings Sodbusters social media.
Yep, you got it.
Okay, anything else? All right, okay, so.
On Facebook at Hastings Sodbusters, on X at GoBusters, I believe the handle there, so probably won't be posting it on TikTok, or we might post it on Instagram, but yeah, if you're a Facebook or X person, definitely find the updates on there, but expect to see a stream for us just before the 5 p.m. range as they will finish up the final 5 innings, and then we will get started with the final game of the series.
All right, so that'll do it for our stream. Again, as we leave you now, Hastings has a 1-0 lead. They'll be batting in the bottom of the 5th when we resume at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Big thank you to Connor Christensen, our producer today. For Noah Pagel, for Ryan Valenta, I'm Steve Stein. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sodbusters.
Get the ultimate fan experience at a Hastings Sodbuster game this summer. Enjoy high-level collegiate summer wood bat baseball at the beautiful and historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Baseball and a whole lot more. Affordable family fun. That's what the Sodbusters and the Independence League are all about. Sodbuster Baseball. It's your team.